Alright, everyone, we are live. We are firing up the game. It'd be cool if I was in full screen properly. Although I need to disable the cheats. They are. Let's fast forward through loading. Alright, time for some 90s mod. We're at Pocono for the second time. And the pylon has the new stuff going on, though I have to reload it when we get to the track. Shouldn't be a big deal. Put this one over here. Alright, last time we did set up all the stuff, all our garage things. We actually have two, that's right, we have two things. So this one's still slightly better. We could use that hair more power and downforce because it's Pocono. So we'll take the slightly better one. Loading quick. And then I will refire the pylon up fresh. Now this interval is going to be wrong until... Oh god, it does crazy things during practice. It's going to be wrong till we run a lap in the race. I forgot to double check that we're in the default setup proper. That's okay. Check after qualifying if I remember. I still have to finish this interior. I still didn't update all the gauges. There's just the one gauge that you can't quite see behind the wheel that's dark, and then the main RPM gauge is dark, is the style I want. But I didn't update the other ones yet. They're just AI upscaled, I think. I forgot to check my goals. I always forget to check the sponsor goals before the stream. I always check it like at the end of the stream. That's alright. Just do the best we can. Let's see what we got. Oh, itchy. The pull award is blinking at the end of the straightaway. 31st on first lap. We should be able to get top 30 then in the second lap. Nice little roll through to the center. I always want to say 1 and 2 here. Turn 1. Turn this up a little bit. Ooh, don't hit the wall though. Turning up the volume. This would be so much easier if I got the wheel to ever work nicely in this game. I could get it to work, but it doesn't work nicely. It has a really weird dead zone in it. And unfortunately, this game didn't support wheels natively. Otherwise, we'd be able to actually set up a wheel properly. Like, you could do a USB wheel in the PlayStation 2. And the emulator supports that. But the games need to recognize the wheel, and this game did not. So, 18th... Oh, that's accurate over there? Is the pylon accurate for that? I didn't think it was. I mean, now it's not. And it's going to freak out if I have the live interval up, it's going to freak out. Or the live updating. But that's okay. That'll fix once we race. What am I forgetting? Okay, nothing, I guess, because we're just going to tweak that out over there. Maybe I'll just hide it for now. Ooh, Davy's up front.
Each of which has completely different banking, which also means there are 3 straightaways. And guess what? They're all different lengths. This is one tough racetrack to prepare a race car for.
This is a much-needed break for Davey Allison.
Why is his suit those colors? Oh, it's my suit. Must be all black.
When everyone is chasing you, I'm sure they'll work even harder next week to start up front.
The 7 car finds himself in a bit of a slump.
I believe they got a good chance to turn their luck around right here. These guys have been working extra hard this week, and I think it just may pay off for them in the end.
The Prestone car is showing the importance of consistency this year.
Man, he is amazing. And what a boost towards the championship that gives him. You don't even need that many wins if you're finishing in the top 10 every week.
I thought Lake Speed's name was in their mix of names. I guess not. Alright, I'll put the pylon back up now, because the order should be correct once we're going. Now, the times will be wrong, but that's okay. It'll fix in a lap. Or actually, it might fix across the line. on the start, maybe. Yeah, it did. Oh god, we are not going in third gear at all. Oh no, the bird's at the window. It knows I'm streaming. Great. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that much, but there's a bird that likes to bounce off the window near me that has been terrorizing us for a week now. Okay. I hope Davey's able... Oh, wait. I thought Dave... Hold on. Is my pylon wrong? Let me reboot it. Because there's no Davey Allison. Oh, no, he's 6th. He just fell to 6th already. Never mind. Wait. No good. Oh, man, we got 50 laps at this track. This is a long one. Bird, please! I don't know if I could reach without pausing. We're off to a really surprisingly good start here. I apparently need to crank Pocono difficulty up. Oh, you know what? We might need to restart. Did I select Pocono? No, I didn't. Dang it. Okay, we're going to restart. Uno momento. We're only a lap in, so I'm okay with fixing it proper here. Hold on. Let's shut it down for a second. Uno momento, por favor. Let me show you what I did. So, I rebooted the module. I selected Pocono from here. Oh, this bird. But I didn't select it here where it adjusts the track, so 110%, and they were at 100%. So now, should boost them a little more. They're supposed to be a little bit tougher at Pocono than they were. Bird, seriously, my guy. Alright, and then I need to adjust him to part-time. We're leaving Neil as full-time. We gotta put Greg Sachs at full-time since he started that race. Rick Mast. Mike Potter. And we're gonna kill Davey Allison's good starting spot. Maybe he'll be up there again. And that puts us at 38 full-time, plus us is 39. So there's gonna be 4 random drivers, which is good. 4 unknowns in the mix, and excuse me, now we can start the game. Once it kicks into the music, then we enable cheats and we push the buttons. And then I'll switch this back to that view. Tools going once we get to the track. Okay. Sorry about that. I false started. It's fine. Oops. I'm gonna requalify though, and Pocono's a long one. Alright. Bird, get away from the window. Thank you. Oh, now you come out, dog. You could have chased the bird away sooner. I gotta check that. Check that. Okay, we're good. Alright. So now we're actually going to qualify. Oh, why is this still fast? Hang on, okay. My button wasn't working, so make it not fast. Or sped up. Honestly, I should just speed it up for most of lap 1, because our lap 2 is all that matters anyway. So I'm going to do that. We should still qualify about where we did last time. That doesn't change when you change the percent of the track. That's supposed to be based off the queue. But the game does modify the Q values, like, in some unknown way from what their base set up is. It also apparently does that to driver ratings, but I haven't quite figured out where or why or how or when it does that. Because it doesn't store it where the driver ratings are. I could probably figure it out at some... Well, I shouldn't say probably, but I have a way that I think I could try to figure it out. Because the driver ratings... We've learned that Jimmy Horton and Davey Allison do not perform in the race the way that they should. How they qualify is more, right now, how they qualify is closer to how they should perform than how they perform, which is really sad. It's very unfortunate. But figured out that Jimmy Horton is in Dale Jarrett's spot, and Davey Allison is in Greg Biffle's spot, and it seems like those stats get modified the most noticeably. Oh god, we qualified really well. Jeez. Okay, let's start this up. Let me actually not kill you guys with the pylon while it's blinking. Oh, okay, it's done. It'll update then, though, scoring. See if they talk about the same people or not. Now Davey's 8th, but Tim Richmond is 2nd, and he'll probably not finish there.
Which also means there are 3 straightaways, and guess what? They're all different links. This is one tough racetrack to prepare a race car for.
How about the consistency shown by Darrell Waltrip?
Oh yeah.
Darrell Waltrip.
Finishing the top 10 for the season is
His driver suit should be orange. I don't know why his is different.
wins the championship.
The 7 car has not had the
Yeah,
finishes
blah, blah.
he's hoped for in the past couple races.
He definitely needs a
Where'd my
good
dad
finish,
go?
not just for himself,
I don't know
but
if
for
that's
the
right.
team, the sponsors, and everyone else involved with that team.
Okay, never mind. Yep, I guess that is our order. And the intervals should update then once we cross the line. Bing, 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 bing. Intervals correct. Ish. It should be the interval thing. I know you guys don't have this yet. It's calculated. It was something I had to do. I couldn't find where the interval data is stored in the game. I tried and tried to find it multiple times, multiple hours of trying to find it, failing to find it. I found other cool, crazy things, but I did not find where the intervals are stored in memory. Oh, excuse me. So what I did was some coding magic with some timers and some different things, and that pylon will update way more often now is the only downside. So like position changes, it's going to be pretty rapid, so there's going to be a lot more movement on it, unfortunately. Can be a little jarring when people are back and forth for position or when we're in a pack like this, but that's the only way I could get the intervals to accurately update quickly. So I mean, I could do a way to make it less jarring on that screen, but I don't know. Maybe I'll add some code for that. But right now it updates every 5 1,000ths of a second. So that's give or take 5 1,000ths. That's how accurate the timing and gaps are. But if the leader crosses the line and before the rest of the field crosses the line, you pause the game, it's gonna be wrong, because my timers are running on real time, not on the game's anything. So they're just running all the time. So essentially, what it does is when the leader crosses the line, no matter who's leading, it can change hands. It's fine. But whenever the leader crosses the line, it clocks the leader right then, and then it clocks every driver as they cross the line next, and it uses that to determine what the interval is. And it'll do lap cars, and then when people drop out, I think just for safety's sake, when they're like more than 3 laps down, it'll auto update. So short tracks where you end up where you have cars that end up 5-6 laps down, that's going to show a little inaccurate at times. It might show an extra lap down for a couple people there. I didn't really have a good way to combat that versus people DNFing. I don't have a way to tell when somebody's DNF'd. So essentially, like, I mean, I have a roundabout way I could try to code it, but it's quite advanced, and I don't know that it's worth bothering. Essentially, what I did now is if your gap to the leader is more than 3 or 5 laps or whatever I set it to, it'll update that driver when the leader crosses the line as far as their lap counter and their laps down, not when that driver crosses the line. Because if they're out, they're not crossing the line anymore, so it never triggers to update them, if that makes any sense. But see, as we saw, so Davey's already back here after qualifying well. My dad's way in the back after qualifying okay. So the performance of some of the cars is not, like, I double, triple, quadruple checked stats and was messing around with it this morning, this week, with trying to figure out why these drivers weren't performing the way they should, and their stats that are used in career mode are set properly. Everything's correct. But somewhere else in the game's code, and not in its memory that I'm aware of, they adjust certain drivers. It must be hard-coded, is how we don't have access to it currently. But they take certain drivers' stats and they adjust them based on who it is. So for some reason they made Greg Biffle perform worse than his stats, and they made Dale Jarrett perform better than his stats. And so whatever drivers, oh god, and the fantasy drivers as well, they get modified. So whatever drivers are in those slots, they end up performing differently than they should. So Davey Allison right now has stats for like, I don't know, like 7th place, and Tim Richmond has stats for like 2nd or 3rd place, like 2nd or 3rd best stats here, and yet they're both running in the high teens at them already. It's early. Oh, did Bill Elliott do the glitch just now? Did he do the glitch where he blew up but disappeared and wasn't off track? And I didn't see it, but I saw he was out and right behind us there. And he should have been ahead of us. I think Bill Elliott did the thing where the glitch in this game where they blow up and then boom, they're gone. Even though they were just visible. That's weird. I'm glad we got that one on stream anyway. But either way, I'm investigating it further so that we could get some proper ratings, because I really don't like the fact that, like, the drivers, a lot of them perform the way they should for the ratings they have, but somewhere in code they're modifying certain drivers and cars more than others versus what their stats are. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just change their stats? Why did you manually modify Jarrett to be better than his stats, and why did you manually modify Biffle to be worse than his stats? There was nothing wrong with going off their actual ratings you gave them, or if you wanted them to perform differently, change the friggin' rating. So I feel like, in my mind, somewhere... Wow, Mike Potter's doing well, and Petty are both doing well here. In my mind, during development for this game, whoever was in charge of the driver ratings had, like, some opinion, whether it was statistically accurate or not, and then someone that was in charge of some programming who had different opinions, whether they were statistically accurate or not, had a disagreement. And I bet the programmer just was like, well, screw it, I'll just add some secret code that makes Jarrett perform better and makes Biffle perform worse and makes whoever, you know, XYZ drivers perform worse or better. So, because it's not the variant stat. And the reason I'm so confident it's not the variant stat is Greg Biffle's slot, which Davey Allison is in, is actually a really low variance. That's the reason Greg Biffle's slot is so quickly filled up by a high-ranking driver, is because I fill the slots based on their variance. The less variance they have, the more consistent a driver is, then I want to fill that space with a driver that's high ranking. So essentially, like, you know, first in points from 1990 is going to be the smallest variance. Well, actually, I think like the top 15 in points are low variance. Or lowest, and then it goes up a little bit for another 10 drivers, then up a little more for another like 20, whatever, and that's essentially how it works. But that means Davey Allison is low variance, and yet his performance is like always worse than it should be, and it makes me really frustrated. And then the opposite's true for Jimmy Horton, who's not in this race, so we don't have a good example of it, but Jimmy Horton is in Jarrett's slot, which has, I think, like a medium variance, but his performance is way up. And then, as I mentioned, Tim Richmond and my dad both are in cars that underperform. They're both fantasy slots. They're like the 100 and 117 car and the 107 car or whatever. And the fantasy cars have like a 3 for variance out of 5, so they're right in the middle of the road, all of them. So it's not the variance that's doing it, because there's plenty of other drivers at a 3 that are performing about where they should be, give or take a few spots. So that's the full explanation of what I've been trying to figure out. I have to try to find. I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna. I mean, I was working on it this morning. I was trying to figure it out, but I have a couple ideas of where to dig a little bit, but I don't know that I'm for sure gonna be able to figure it out. But I want to try to find out where it calculates the actual stats and where. Ooh, wow, a little contact there, and where it actually uses those stats in memory for this particular race and how they determine what drivers where. Because if we could figure all that out, I realize it's a lot. But if we could figure all that out, or if I could figure all that out, then I should be able to override the stats at the track to be what they're supposed to be for that particular race. I also was debating modifying, getting away from the cheats, where you generate the cheats, and making it to where you generate just the textures and the cheats get like applied live. So kind of like we have this live data for the pylon, we have a way to edit your pit crew names and your rival allies in career mode and everything, all this live data that gets changed. I was on the fence. I'm not sure if I want to do it or not, but I was on the fence on being able to just live apply other mods so that mid-game you could just switch mods without having to reset it and reload. But the reason I'm debating it, because it sounds like a no-brainer, but the reason I'm debating it is that it'd be a longer it'd be a lot of extra code. It'd be a lot of changing how I currently have it coded to just do it slightly differently than it already is. So I don't know if it's worth the effort, but it's something I've been contemplating here, and we're hanging in the top 30 pretty good, which is good. That's what we wanted out of this race. Oops, I scared Petty High there. Hanging out behind Richard Petty in front of Lake Speed and Morgan Shepherd. Morgan Shepherd's pretty far back for normal. He's actually pretty quick this season. Maybe a bad Pocono stats though, because he's not in a weird driver slot that has been performing differently than he should, I don't think. But Mike Potter, look at him flying. Maybe he's another one that's randomly good for no reason. Because he started way in the back. And again, what I was saying earlier is that like the qualifying positions of these cars are fairly accurate to what their stats should be for the race. So really where everybody started. Davey Allison starting in the top 10. Tim Richmond starting in the top 5. Mike Potter starting in the last 5. Neil Bonnet started further up. He's another one that seems to underperform in whatever car he's in. Him and my dad both. So, I don't know. I really hope I can figure out what the cause of that is and figure out a way to counter it. Because then we will get way more accurate races and driver stats and ranges and stuff like that. And also, it might even be, for all we know, if I could figure out where that final set of driver stats is calculated and where it's stored in memory, like if I could figure all that out, we might have another way to make the AI faster beyond what we currently have. And that would be fantastic. I don't know for sure. I can't, no promises on that. But that may be a way to make them quicker. Because the final rating of the drivers in career mode anyway does take into account your car rating, which was how I was debating. I still got to do lots of testing and figuring out to get it right. But that's how I was debating making the AI better, is by making one of your more pointless one of your more pointless stats for your car to just be a ridiculously high number to bring up your car rating so that it makes the AI faster. Because again, it takes that into account for the speed of everybody. Just not enough to really truly notice it. It also takes that into account for the qualifying calculation. So the fact that qualifying's inaccurate, because my car rating's low, it slows them down. So like I qualified top 20 somewhere, I don't know, 18th or something in this race. But the way I have the queue times set up in memory, where the queue times are stored, we should have qualified like in the 30s. So because my car rating's low, it slowed them down versus that core stat. They have a lot of code that does that alteration based on your car. So maybe if I find where the final ratings are calculated for the drivers, I might also find the final qualifying table, which would again allow us more control of the difficulty and the game itself to be what we want it to be. So I really hope I find it, but I don't know. It's a venture. It's an adventure that is in new territory that I've not really messed with. The only little bit of searching I did in similar fashion was trying to find the intervals, which I obviously failed at because I had to code my own interval calculations. So my one attempt in that realm of modding and learning has been not a complete failure, but not a success yet. So I'm not confident, but I'm trying to learn and figure things out. Also, if anyone watching this, either live or after the fact, would be interested in me streaming, just trying to learn stuff and trying to, like my process for finding what's moddable and finding new data and whatever, I would have no problem streaming that. I just don't know that it'd be exciting enough, because it can be very tedious and boring, even more so than a super speedway outside of the draft at times. So I don't know if there'd be enough interest for something like that, but if there is, comment, let me know, either live or if you're watching this back, let me know. I've not been paying attention to my fuel burn, so I think we got 2 laps yet. Oh shoot, this is going to be like Michigan. We're going to be short of halfway, and maybe the AI can make it on one stop. I still think I need to alter the races so they're not 25% and they're like 22% or something, so the pit stops work out to be just one stop for everybody. It might backfire at other tracks, but who knows? Or maybe I could just alter Pocono and Michigan so they're a little different. That's probably the better route. They really slow down a lot for 3, whereas I'm rolling all the way to the center. But that's good, because I'm probably gaining ally points by making, air quotes, clean passes here. Am I? I gained 2 on Morgan. I gained 2 on Reagan. Yeah, I guess I haven't been swapping enough. Because I think you got to get fully clear for it to give you those ally points. I'm not sure. Okay, we burned about a gallon, 1.2 I think it was, in a lap. So we actually have about 2 laps left right now. So it was 2.7 at the end of pit road, the back exit of pit road. So I'll have to look this time by. Well, actually, I guess by then I'd be committed. Well, we'll see what it is out of turn 3. I'm hanging around this 30th spot though. This is a pretty good race for us. I know we got a little bit better than just base rating equipment, and it is showing. It is reflecting as it should. Okay, we got enough for another lap. We'll go one more. Enough fuel. So pit the end of 20, and then I'll probably just split the rest of the race. Oh! Ken Reagan just blew up. That might cause a yellow. That's known to cause, like, blown engine drivers at this track. They don't know where to go in the tunnel turn, especially. Excuse me. There's not a lot of traffic. Well, he just held up Jimmy Spencer. There's not a lot of traffic behind us, but it can absolutely cause a wreck. Though we should know. We should know before we're out of, or into the pits. I hope. Because I'd hate to. Well, you know what? Honestly, we could get a pit stop done. I don't know. Actually, the mini-map, it looks like they're going to clear them before the tunnel turn. Yeah. Oh god, I can't really go one more, so I have to pit here. So does half the field, apparently. Alright, first pit stop of the stream tonight. Got our pit crew. We got our new member, Lolo Datroff down there in the engine builder, and the other AI person we fired and hired, Matt Poole, the Jackman. He got added. I couldn't figure out what font I used last time, by the way. I didn't make note of it, so the fonts are a little different, but it is what it is. Okay, well, Morgan leaps back ahead of us there a little bit, but not bad. It was a pretty good stop. Not going to complain on that one. The scoring's a little funky there. I wonder if that was just because of the pit stop cycle and when people hit the line. Again, that stuff, like the scoring, I mean, I'm still testing it. This isn't live yet. You guys don't have it at the moment. But I feel like that's because of where people's pit stalls are versus the start-finish line is why that got, like, it's showing -1s ahead of, minus a lap ahead of some times. Also, Ken Reagan blew up, so until he's, and his pit stall must be before the line, so until he's like 3, 4, 5 laps down, it's not going to update him. Just because, again, the trigger is when you hit the line, you update. Positions update all the time, all the way around the track. The interval only updates at the line. If I could find where that data lives in memory, because it does exist. When you pause the game and you look at the stats, you can see the live interval at that moment. If I could figure out where that is in memory, then I could update this and it won't even be a problem. But again, I don't know where that is exactly. I do have a couple, just like with the idea of finding out where the driver's final ratings are calculated, I do have a couple ideas on how to figure that out, where that is, but I haven't gotten to it yet. There's so many things going on in life and in this project and in there, like everything. So I don't always get time to work on it, and I'm trying to work on the 1991 paints. I'm up to I should say I'm through up to the 12 car of Hutch Strickland in 1991 pack. We're going to finish the 90 career before the 91 pack is done. Or the 90, not the 90 career, but the 90 season of the career mode, of our multi-year career mode, before the 91 pack's done, unfortunately. But I do have ideas for streams in between, while 91's still being worked on. I have ideas for streams for this game. Mostly. Well, one of the ideas is not this game, but I have a couple things, and maybe I'll just put a poll up or whatever, and we'll see what people want to see. But we'll get there. We're halfway through this season, basically. So, we got time yet. Oh! Kenny Schrader just practically put, I think that was Rick Wilson in the wall up there ahead of us. Alright, so on the full pit cycle, we're 27th, but there are a couple people with fresh tires behind us. But there's probably also a couple people on older tires in front of us, just slightly. And nobody made it to halfway, it doesn't seem like. Which is good news for the whole race. It's not going to be like Michigan, where some of the AI make it. I think Ken Reagan's car will update this time by as well, for on the pylon. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so 5 laps is the mark I put. When you're over 5 laps down, your data is going to update when the leader hits the line. When you're under 5 or less laps down, it updates when you or that car crosses the start-finish line. Also, cautions makes that mess up a little bit, but luckily on the restart, it should fix everybody right then and there as they cross on the restart. Just like on the initial start, crossing the line to get to lap 1 or 0 or however you want to look at it, like that that still triggers and updates all the intervals, so it doesn't look like a mess very long. The only way I thought to detect if they're out of the race is if you take like the average lap time of all the drivers and you add like 20% to that, and if they've not crossed the line in that amount of time, then show them as out. Which should also auto update if they do come out of the pits on the rare occasion where they return to the race laps down and off pace. Like speed. I'm surprised Rick Mass didn't catch us quicker because he has fresher tire. Like, he was one of the last ones to come out of the pits. It is Rick Wilson ahead of us. And what's Kenny Schrader doing so far back? He must have had some bad Pocono races because he performs close-ish to his ratings. I think a little bit slower than they should be. But he performs about where he should normally. So I'm guessing his races weren't great. Dick Johnson in 13th. There's an outperformer. Oh my god, actually look at the running order. There's all kinds of cars in interesting spots. Dale Jarrett up there. Like I said earlier, Mike Potter in the top 20. Mark Stahl in the top 20. I mean, I like some of the variants, but... Oh, they're pitting early. I like some of the variants, but I think some of it's pretty extreme versus what we want. Like I said, with Davey Allison's is the best example. He should not be performing as bad as he does. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not like he has 1 or 2 top 10s maybe, and he should have a lot more than that. Let's see. I'm trying to glance at those standings. Derek Cope up in the 3rd. Heck yeah. I also think if I figure out where in memory it modifies drivers' stats, like the final step, I might find proof of it boosting certain drivers to like ridiculous amounts. The other thing that might affect, we might be able to make some real pack racing on super speedways, because if I can figure out where that's calculated and I can adjust that, I can make everybody's stats like exactly the same or damn close to exactly the same, and that should properly make a pack. If there's no variance, there's no whatever. If I can control that, we might be able to get some actual pack racing, which would be amazing. And then we could just not apply that to the early 90s stuff. We could wait till whatever year and actually apply that. Or I could just make it a checkbox option in the tool of like super speedway override or whatever. All right, so we pit on 20. Which leaves 30 to go. So we should pit on 35 to split this evenly. Granted, we're probably going to end up a lap down before the race is over, so we could pit on 34, the end of 34 if we want. I think I'll play it by ear. If we're still lead is a good chunk behind us. If we're still lead lap on the end of 34, then we'll go to the end of 35, just in case the yellow comes out. And then we'll, oh god, I got loose into 2 here. But we're catching Rick Wilson. We're catching Kenny Schrader, I think, too, a little bit. Oh, that'd be cool data to show, too, now that I think about it. Darn it, now I want to do fancier things with the interval. It's like your gain or loss versus people in front of you or the leader or something, or both as options. I don't know. running outside. He's closing the door. Nope. No. I touched the wall. Why'd you shut the door? I'll just go to the bottom. Thanks, Rick. Oh, he's coming back. Dang it. I have no idea where we actually are running because of the pit cycle being odd with people short pitting. But granted, the people that pit really early, they should fall off on the long run, so us pitting by splitting the run evenly, we should gain a few spots. So I think we're somewhere around like 25th in actuality once everything cycles again, and we'll see. I feel like I'm somewhere around there. We just roll so deep into these corners without the brakes. Oh, I forgot to make sure that we're in the default set. We should be for this track, but I'm pretty sure I never touched wedge or anything. Because apparently, I think what it is that when you adjust during a pit stop, which is the only time I ever adjusted setups in this game, was during an actual stop in the middle of a race, I would adjust. I think that actually overwrites the default set, or not the default, but your set under your profile for each track. Because we went to, I think it was Martinsville, when we were there earlier in the season, we realized that like my setup was crazy loose and it didn't make any sense because it was the default. And then I made it crazy tight, or vice versa. I forget which way it was. But I went the exact opposite and realized that both versions were wrong, were not the default. And I never customized the setup in the garage screen other than making the transmission manual. So I'm not sure when it got when it changed from default. I'll try not to block and things like that so we could have a good race. But he did block me in that earlier, so I don't know, I guess we're even now. To open off into one. And we might actually pass and catch Kenny Schrader in a race. Although we're going to pit soon. So 34, we're still lead lap, so I'm going to stay out one more. And 35, I'll come in. Note to self, I should update the pylon so it has what lap the leader's on. And maybe the total laps next to that. Actually, I don't think I have the data for total laps. I just have what lap everybody's on. But I should update that so the leader shows what lap they're on. That's not a big update. That would be pretty easy. I'll probably have that done and rolled out for you guys when this update goes live. I recorded some footage. I have to edit it. And I wanted to test this on our stream to see if there were any bugs, do some further testing with the actual interval data. Like I said, the only one I know about is if you pause the game, it messes it up for a lap. I don't have a good way to fix that unless I literally track whether you pause the game via a pause button check. But then if you get desynced between the pylon and the game or something, pressing the pause button, it won't work anyway. Alright, so we're pitting here. Ooh. That was a little bit closer than I'd like. But we did it. We made pit speed. Show our pit crew again. Again, we got a new engine builder this week. Not that that matters for the actual green flag stops, but we have Lolo Datruf added in. He commented, want to be a part of the crew. And I randomized where he would be, and he ended up as the engine builder. That's right, we're just grabbing random people off the internet and saying, you build the engines. Ready, go. I mean, it wasn't strategy, it's just filling up. Sweet. Alright, pit crew do good. No mistakes this race. We've also had no cautions this race. I feel like I've been, I don't know if you want to say lucky or unlucky, in the realm of how many cautions we get or don't get. versus a lot of people playing the mod with the AI settings. Because I do have the AI set to make more mistakes and have more issues or whatever. So there should be yellows happening way more than we've had them. I say this currently lapped, but also where we were running is also lapped. So it's not a yellow right now wouldn't be the worst because we're only one lap down. It wouldn't be great, but like it's it'd be okay because we wouldn't pit because we only have a lap on the tires, and all those guys pretty much Oh no, wait, it says I'm 2 down. Wait, oh yeah, that's right. The in-game interval's wrong now. My interval is better than the in-game one at the moment. That's funny. And it's weird. That doesn't make sense because theirs should be calculated off of better info than mine is. Because mine's calculated off of their info, so it's live game data. So if the live game data is giving me the right info, and then the interval is wrong, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Mine should be more susceptible to problems than theirs, but it's apparently the other way around sometimes. I forgot it desynced with the leader at some tracks, and sometimes when you get lapped and all that. That's so weird. Yeah, because it says we're 2 down, but we're 1. Absolutely. Sweet. Alright, so we're 34th at the moment. There's still a lot of people left to pit. We're making up time on people that came in early and got tires. Like, there's Rick Mast up ahead. We're catching him pretty quick. Oh, snap. Stick trickle for position? No. I see him up there. But then there's other people that like haven't pit yet at all that are going long on the second run, and we should be making time up on them right now. Granted, they'll make time up on us later, but again, splitting the run in half, we should have a fairly optimal, assuming the fall off is linear-ish in lap times, we should have a more optimal split. Not linear-ish, but we'd expect where it's just like longer you go, the bigger the fall off sort of thing. Like more of a curve than a line. Although in real life and in sim racing, that really depends on the track and the tire wear and like all different factors. So some tracks it actually is better to just go long or to go short, and some tracks it's better to split even. I think even's just the safe bet if you're not sure either way. And obviously we're not playing this like super sim and you know what I mean? If I was competitive online sim racing, I'd probably have some Excel sheets to calculate out, or some program to calculate out what's optimal. I did make a program for that a long time ago. It was called Flash Pit Strat, and we used it. Like actually, I have a couple examples of that helping us in the Coke series. Like we used that, and I had a couple of races where that paid off. One of them was a road course. We ran Watkins Glen, and you would think of all places to run a pit strat program, Watkins Glen would not be one of them. But it turned out I wasn't as fast as my teammates on the short run, but I was super consistent through the entire run. I didn't really fall off much. Whereas they started out really fast and then fell down to times that were close to mine late run. And my teammates running their laps through the pit strat program, it wanted them to pit twice. And ooh, they're 3 wide. Oh, get my Neil. It wanted them to pit twice, and then when we put my laps into the software that I wrote, it wanted me to pit once. And sure enough, for me, pitting once worked out so well. I think that was one of my better road course finishes. I'm not good in comparison to the people that were in Coke at the time. I was really not good at road courses. I don't think I'm bad at road courses, but I'm not great. And I think I finished 21st in that race. And on top of that, not only did I finish 21st in that race, but to hammer home the point of how good that strategy played out for us. I the very first lap in turn 1, somebody like 2 rows ahead of me got spun out coming out of turn 1. And where I was at, because we were double file on the start, where I was at, I ended up having to try to dodge them to the right, and they slid over nose first against the right side wall. We're 3 wide. Heading to the tunnel turn. We're gonna get. Oh no, we're still okay. I had to try to get by them on the right side, and they ended up nose against the tires or the wall or whatever's there out of turn 1 at the time. And because of that, I had to come to a complete stop and back up, and then basically wait for the field to go by and go around him. So I started that race dead last plus like another 3 to 5 seconds by the time I got up to speed. So I started way behind the field in that race and got my best road course finish. I still think just because the pit strategy program told me to do 1 stop instead of 2, like all my teammates were saying that they were going to do, and B, apparently the way I drive, being slow short run, made the tires last nicely for long run, which made that strategy as viable as it was. Rick, you're on older tires, man, and I was there. Alright, light tap. No anger from him. He'll take an Alka-Seltzer and feel better later, maybe. Ooh. Sponsor plug. Alright, we get 6 more laps in this race. And a couple of the people are doing their final stops here because they ran the strat long. We're 27th right now, battling for 27th right now, I should say, because there goes Rick into turn 1. That's alright. You can dive into 1 like that, but I could dive into 2 and 3 like that. I'm just gonna have the gap to get there. Although you're gonna give me the top. No. You're kind of running the middle of. You're leaning left, like you're blocking the bottom here. I don't like it. I'll go outside. No, you ran me up. Pick your lane. Oh my God, you're in super dick blocky mode. Ha. Hang on, we're gonna go last second dive. Super dive. Lorem Pi diving down low. I know he does. I want to get by him as well. There he comes. On the outside. Back and forth we go for 27th. Although it should be a couple more spots. Nope, nobody pit that time. Oh, 26. Okay, we got 1 more spot. Davey Allison behind us with fresh tires. He's going to go blaring by us. But he should not be running this bad. Well, again, I'm working on trying to figure that out. Also, what's up, chat, y'all? I know y'all are here. I see y'all here. Everybody's quiet tonight. Oh! I almost rear-ended him. I didn't, though. Get under. Yeah! Big run out of 2. Man, he exited slow. Clear. Oh, leaders are dropping in the pits now. Last second. Oh, who's going to win this race? This is going to be mixed up at the front. Okay, Jeff Bodine was leading. Now he's up. Mark was also leading apparently there for a little bit. Davey's diving it in. That's fine. He's got fresh tires. Go ahead. I know I'm not going to be able to hold you off for enough laps. See if we could hitch a ride up to Lake Speed. 26th, and I think the pit stops have cycled now. There might be a couple more people making their stop yet. Man, you guys run the tunnel turn so slow. Oh, and turn 3. I drifted in a little bit. Well, I didn't counter steer drift, but I threw it in. Someone. Don't call Davey Allison someone. My gosh. Oh, we're 25th now. Sweet. We get a top 25. Wait, who's behind us? Because I just saw somebody different back there. Although it could be lead lap car because we are lapped. Nope, that's for position. That's Hut Strickland. Oh, man. think Terry Labonte was the last to pit because he's based on the pylon showing him on the lead lap when he's not.
RILZ Gomez.
There's somebody.
He said, yo, this looks pretty hype. What made you pick 1990?
That's a good question. I think two things. One, the 80s, the Monte Carlo in 89 and earlier, that body is probably the most drastically different. The very boxy Monte Carlo is so different. We're going to lose 25th here. It's so drastically different than what we have in this game that I feel like I couldn't make the cars really look super great other than just being homage paint schemes. Whereas 1990, the bodies just start to get close enough that they look pretty good in this. The other thing was it's just a good round number. I think 1990 up to now, like that's I don't know. To me, the 90s were like the best time of NASCAR, in my opinion. The 80s were great though, so I mean I wouldn't mind doing 80s stuff maybe way in the future, but I think 90 was just a good starting point. It's more or less where I was at. And I mean the roster, the paint schemes, there's so many iconic drivers. This was also like the last year, besides Tim Richmond, I think it was the last year before we really started to lose a lot of drivers that were really good. So I thought doing some of my what if stuff, like I have Tim Richmond back in the field, but can we get both spots? Get the top 25. Dig. I don't have horsepower. I don't have the horsepower, and they're drafting. Oh, we're gonna be 26th. I didn't realize I was catching Lake that quick. No, so having Tim Richmond back, and then after this season, Rob Moroso not passing away. We had Neil Bonnet not getting injured this season. Stuff like that. I thought 90 was a good solid year.
For any mistakes. You don't have the cushion of yellow flags to get caught up.
The 7 car never even got a scratch in this race.
You know, these NASCAR Winston Cup race teams absolutely love drivers who take care of their cars. Makes their jobs a whole lot easier when they aren't having to spend extra hours in the body shop each week.
This has been NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, brought to you by EA Sports and MRN. So long, we'll see you next week at the Talladega Super.
That's what I hate Rick Mast. These aren't great cameras though. Also, the reason I pause before exiting is because I always forget to change that texture out, so that there's nothing there. The reason I pause before is because if you hit the exit when the screen is doing a motion blur effect, all of this text will be blurry, and that's not good. So Jeff Bodine dominated. Mark Martin and Wallace led on during some pit cycles, I think. Derek Cope with a top 5. Darrell Waltrip with a 5th. I think that's one of his better finishes. He hasn't performed well this season. Kwiatkowski, Rudd, Butch Miller sneaking in the top 10. Mike Waltrip, Brett Bodine ran out. Dick Trickle with 11th. Mike Stahl with an impressive 13th. I have a dog freaking out behind me if you hear any extra noises. Dale Jarrett, 16th. Dick Johnson, 17th. Tim Richmond with the top 20. Mike Potter from the back, the 21st. It's fine. She can freak out. I don't care. She can do her wacky things. It's dog things. Is what they do. Kenny Schrader faded. Harry Gant faded. Richard Petty was running in the low 20s for a while, for once, but he faded back too later on. My dad performed terribly. Neil Bonnet performed terribly. I'm gonna fix these guys' ratings, guys. I'm gonna figure it out eventually. It's not they're set correctly, and then the game changes some of them, unfortunately, and I don't have a good fix for it yet because I don't know what it does, where it does, how it does, but I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna take me some time, but I'm gonna figure it out. All right, but anyway, in the meantime, we are racing just fine. Sponsors, prestige gain, everybody was happy, and that was all that happened this week. So. Average finish 35th, qualify 35th, 40th in earnings. Yeah, we've got some easy happy sponsors at the moment. Garage stuff is going on, except here. Okay, overhauling does nothing to that guy. Overhauling does almost nothing to that guy. So I'm going to repair this one now. We'll set it to 2 races. Because that's our good engine. And I kind of want to do the same with this, but we got one more race out of this guy before... Or we could overhaul this one a little bit. How much do you cost to overhaul? 104, that's kind of a lot to do just that little bit of rating gain. Otherwise, we're going to suffer on the body for a few races. You know what, that's fine. We'll run this 93 for the next race, and then we'll fix it up. Wait, do I have a shop edition going right now? Yes, I do. 3 more races. Alright, cool. Let's save the career. I do have a backup save that I made last time just in case as well. I should back up the memory card. Whoops, I didn't mean to exit that way. Alright, so shut down the game. We're going to switch our view so you can see what I'm doing. And mod tool, go back to basic options, randomize. Actually, I always like to restart it though. It should work without restarting it. I still like to. Okay, 1990, load pack. We want Talladega 2. Or wait, are we on the second Dega race? Oh, we are on the second Dega race. So we want Talladega 2 there and Talladega 1 here. It only slightly matters for their stats. Alright, that should all be good. Finalize. Then we want to go to this tab. And anybody who started the second Talladega race, we want to make full-time. Anyone who didn't, besides Daryl, because he got injured, and besides Neil Bonnet, who was also injured, we're going to leave them full-time. Anyone else that's full, we're going to make part. Anyone else that's part, we're going to make full. So that they are sure to start the race if they ran it in real life is kind of what we're aiming for. Oops. Venturini. We got Buddy Baker in this one. AJ Foyt in this one. That's fun. We got some fun people in this one. Chad Little. Jack Pennington. Mark Stahl. Okay, anybody else? Nope. Okay, that makes... Oh. Well, this is a first. So, because I have Tim Richmond and my dad, and Neil Bonnet not injured, and Darrell Waltrip not injured, we actually have more drivers in as full-time than not. Who do I want to drop? Well, no, we need to drop 2 because... Okay, then I'll drop both of these 2. Okay. Just because it needs to be 42 because plus the player is 43, so... we could have left it up to chance by making multiple or extra people full-time, but I don't really want the chance of one of these guys missing a race and messing up the whole point standings. So that's all generated. Go back in the game. Speed up the game. We'll cycle the cheats off. Skip to intro. Wait for it to load. Bing, bing. And then turn cheats back on. Start the game. Switch back to that view for you guys. Reload our career. And now everybody's got their Talladega ratings. Also, I usually check this at the end of the stream, but Mark Martin's our points leader. That one, yeah, I think it's just straight up everything. Okay, except this one. The game, if you do quick select, by the way, it goes off of condition only. So just keep that in mind if you're ever using quick select. I learned what that is based off of. And after we qualify, I'll put the pylon on. Or back on, I should say. Alright. Let's... I still speed up on. Which is throwing me off. Oh, it started me in third. I was like, why am I like revved out and not accelerating? Started me in third gear at 160. So lap 1's always a wash here. Also that camera guy off turn 2 on the crane. What the heck? Why do I not remember that? That's kind of funny. Also, that 76 texture looks really washed out. I don't remember that being that washed out. Maybe it's emulator things doing emulator things. Who knows? Alright, actual lap. Here we go. Smooth, simple inputs here. I say as I do some jerky wheel movements. And controllers are not the easiest to be smooth with. That wasn't bad. Let the car roll out off the banking onto the flat. Let it go where it wants on exit for the most part. Maybe not that extremely, but somewhat. And slowly roll her into the bank. Trying my like iRacing super speedway qualifying line-ish things. Want to roll out. I didn't really want to roll out there. That's fine. That's good. I mean, well, that's not good for our car. It just means our performance is that bad that we're not going fast enough for it to want to roll out of the banking at all. Uh-oh. Oh, 22nd? That's not bad. Jeez, the crew chief's like, we gotta pass everybody. No, dude, we're fine. That's good.
Welcome to today's NASCAR Winston Cup Series event, the EA Sports 500, live on MRN from the Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. We should be in for quite a show today, Barney.
Let me sum it up for you all. 2.6 miles, 4 lanes, 190 miles an hour. Just doesn't get much better. Let's just hope these guys can stay out of the big one.
The 11 car has these big tracks figured out with a string of strong...
You don't have Jeff Bodine's name in this game?
Definitely be up front of this race, there's no doubt in my mind. But the hard
I thought
part
we
comes
did.
at the very end of these races, when you have to decide which line to go with to the finish. He seems to always pick the right one.
The 7 car is towards the bottom of the...
Also, they don't say 07.
And of course, nobody wants to be
It's
on
set
the
up so that like the spotters will say 07, but MRN doesn't for some reason. They'll say 01.
in this series.
The 20 car does not have a very impressive record at these super speedways.
Oof.
I spoke to some members of his crew about that this morning. They said they just can't seem to find a car that works well in the draft. They think they've made vast improvements
He's
since
starting
the last
right
time,
with us.
though, so keep an eye on him in the race.
Alright, here we go. Mark Martin, Sterling Marlin in the front row. Neil Bonnet way up front on qualifying. Maybe he'll actually run up there this race. Maybe his super speedway stats are good. I mean, I know they're good for what we set them, but again, the game's been doing some weird overriding things that I've not learned about yet. You checked up. Let's see how we can hold draft currently, because it's not going to be great. Or it wasn't great last race that I remember. 47 laps here at Dega. Old bumpy, concrete looking, non-blacktop Dega. Alright, I have no draft right now. Yeah, see, Bonnet and Tim Richmond have already faded from their starting spots. This is what I mean. The rating, where they qualified is where they should perform, more or less. But unfortunately, there's not quite that result that we're hoping for. I'd randomize the qualifying stats a little bit if the racing stats were more accurate. But again, the way the game calculates them is bit of a mystery. We got some extra work to do on figuring that out for proper modding, but you know, most of the field is accurate. Oh man. Oh, here comes my dad. He's been good at super speedways. Nowhere else. He's in one of the fantasy driver slots, him and Tim Richmond both, so I think it's kind of funny. They made the fantasy drivers like good and bad at some tracks, regardless of what their stats are. Which I always thought was weird. So like I said, the stats I have my dad set to the same exact stats as Dick Trickle. And I have Tim Richmond set to his 1986 stats, his last like full season. Or was it 86? I don't know. Whatever his last full season was. And they don't quite perform where they're supposed to because of the weird stuff that we talked about earlier in the stream. But as I said, I'm going to try to figure all that out. Baker went by us there too, buddy. Buddy Baker working with my dad. Going by fellow Pennsylvanian Jimmy Spencer. Not to, Buddy's not a Pennsylvanian, but my dad is, and he, of course. Get some help from what would normally be Rick Mast, but is actually Phil Parsons in my what if scenarios here. And we are falling like a rock. I've not been able to latch on to anybody enough to stay with the draft, which is really unfortunate for us. Get hungry. I've been full throttle the whole race. Don't tell me what to eat. Wait, no, that's not right. My God, I can't even keep up with Petty. Oh my gosh. Foyt, what are you doing way back here? You should be running better. Oh, Jimmy Means. Rodney Combs. Oh my gosh, everybody's gone. I'm gonna just flat lose the draft. See, I thought I had the AI too easy at Daytona in the 500. And then I felt like they were, so I adjusted them. And then I felt like they were fine in the fall race, or in the July race, maybe a little too fast. And then Dega, I don't know. I thought they ran okay in the I don't remember where we finished, but I thought we ran like a normal race the first time. I mean, I got draft right now. Now we're keeping up. But a big checkup, which we might get, and we're going to lose speed because of the auto braking nonsense that I also want to try to figure out where that is in code and stop it. But again, there's things that we might never find. Oh no, I bumped the downshift. I was scratching when I put my arm down. I'm just glad I noticed immediately. I mean, it killed our speed there. I brought the whole controller up to scratch my ear, and my finger, so my finger hovers over the shifters all the time, and when I put my controller back down on my lap, I bumped my leg and downshifted. Now we're gonna lose this draft. Oh no. We're gonna just have to block the crap out of Chad Little and Bill Venturini back there. How's Bonnet doing? Did he fade? Yep, he faded. Darn it. Mikey's up in third, though. Oh, we're burning fuel quick. Oh, no, wait. The tanks are smaller for these races. That's right. So we're actually got a few more laps yet. Alright, so I gotta pay attention to blocking these guys so we keep some semblance of speed in draft. And then I guess I'm doing the pit nonsense here.
Pit Pro Gaming said, well, at least you are doing better than I do. Usually I lose the draft in turns 3 and 4 on lap 1 at Talladega. Granted, I qualify in 42nd each time.
Yeah, I do have the qualifying as part of the modded thing. Unfortunately, the game still modifies the qualifying settings based on your car rating. So what I have qualifying set to works for race now mode, to be what I want it to, whatever you set it to in the mod tool. But in career mode, it still bases off your car rating, so it makes qualifying too easy when your car is crappy, and then actually too hard when your car is amazing. So it's kind of ironic how it works right now. But yeah, no, this I don't know. I thought I had the AI set up pretty good for super speedways. I can change their ratings. I can make them 90% instead of 100% their ratings for Talladega so that they run a little bit slower. And then we actually could keep draft. But I'll have that fixed for the 1991 season in career mode. But then again, we might be upgraded enough that we don't really need to adjust it much, if at all. Come on, push this, Venturini. There we go. We should be able to clear Chad again. Getting a push. Well, not a physical push, but an air push. Yep. Oh, I stopped. I forgot to look at the fuel burn. Oh, man. Okay, we should be able to go one more. Coming out of 4, we're at 2.2. Because that's when we have to make our decision on pitting or staying out next lap. Man, I'm so mad I bumped the downshift. If I didn't do that, I might still be with that pack up ahead. I'm going to do the pit nonsense. I know I normally don't condone it or don't bother, but considering the AI is just not where I should have them, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think we're going to have to pit here. Which feels early. 12, 24, 36, 48. That's three stops, really? Is that normal? No, a lot of the computers are pitting. A lot of the others are pitting, I should just say. Oh. Okay. No. Oh no, I'm far left on pit road. That really slows you down. You do not want to be far left on this pit road. Oh, pit crew. Oh, bam. There's our pit crew. Alright, guys. Just left sides. Don't mess up. Okay. I'm still not going to get the pack that was ahead of us. Really? We're only going to end up in the space in between them? Maybe when we get up to speed. I'm not going to block up on the track. I'm going to try to mostly do pit exit normal here. We're not going to get the guys ahead of us here. Although it looks like we might get... Who is that? They're probably going to slow down for us. Yeah, is that Dick Trickle? Yeah, it is. Although he might be lead lap yet. I don't know. Look at the standings. I don't know where he is. No, I guess he is. He's going to pit. Yep. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. That was not a good impression. That was really bad. All by myself. Shoot. AJ, you got... Look, AJ Foyt. I'm AJ Faye. Come back. You've got no draft, I got no draft. Let's AJ draft. Please, come back. No, he's gonna have draft. He's gonna slow down for it though. Oh, is that gonna be enough? No, no, we're not gonna get there. My dad didn't stay back and draft with us. AJ Foyt's not gonna draft with us. What the heck? I got Chad Little a mile behind me, but that's not gonna help us either. Oh, somebody's coming out of the pits just now. Is that Venturini? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. He's going to be behind us. We ended up right in this limbo zone of no draft ahead, no draft behind. Great, we're up another position. 41st.
Duddlebug 5 said hi.
Hi. Hi, Duddlebug. What's the 5 for? Is it Ricky Rudd? Is it Kyle Larson? Is it Terry Labonte? Is it your own choice? Is it a local racer? Is it just because Duddlebug regular and 1 through 4 was taken? I gotta know. I got nothing better to talk about. Running Talladega with no draft. I got nothing better to talk about with our crappy rookie season car, a career car. I should have set the AI to 95 or 90% instead of 100 for Talladega, but I didn't know. This season is kind of just a reminder for everybody. This season's a little bit of a learning for what to do the AI settings at, or what to set them at. My wording of that was terrible. I helped make it. I made this. This is me.
Said so you helped make this mod.
All the modding ability, the mod master tool, the PCSX2 build that lets you do the texture swaps in all the EA games, the NASCAR games. That was all me, by myself.
5 said, and also that's what the scoreboard looks like.
Yep, and I did the scoreboard also. This is a new update to it that's not public yet because I wanted to test it. I just coded this, or finished coding this yesterday. Or last night, I should say. But I wanted to test it on stream. I have a video to edit, and then this will be public as well. There's a couple other little tools, or little tweaks and changes, but the main change was that I have intervals on the board as an option. Oh, I just realized I don't think I set the keyboard shortcut for the interval on the board. Oh man, we're just literally gonna be, well, you know what, Venturini's coming up, and maybe
Duddlebug 5
we could catch up to means.
said cause the Dresser Plays channel has used this mod, and when he tried to make scoreboard, his PCSX2 game data basically got mostly wiped away forever, unfortunately.
What? How did... Well, he should ask me for help, because it shouldn't wipe any data. It doesn't write any data, it just reads from the game. At least the scoreboard. There are other features that do write data, but the scoreboard doesn't, it just reads. I know the mod tool crashes right now. I already fixed this bug, it's just, not, again, not out, but if you select anything except career in the driver drop down, it has a chance of crashing these days. I think it does all the time now. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know how that happened in the first place, because I tested that feature out when I first made the pylon and it worked fine. And I don't know what changed that made it not work fine, but it shouldn't erase the game or mess up the PCSX2 or the save file or any of that. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't write any data. It just reads it. So I don't know, send him my way. Tell him to join the Discord, send me a PM, yell at me, I don't care. Like I'll help out and try to fix it, whatever happened, and try to walk him through it, cuz it shouldn't kill it. I also didn't know, I didn't know about his channel, but I'll have to check him out. Because I like anybody that's been playing the mod, I like to check their stuff out.
Duddlebug 5 Said he also tried to make a mod for NASCAR 09 work and it also deleted game data on 2 game cards for his PCSX2 stuff.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
5. Said so he couldn't use 09 mod.
That doesn't make any sense.
5. Said as he could not get it to work.
I could see you not getting it to work. I could see that happening. But that makes no sense that it deleted data or wiped data. There's nothing that this stuff does that permanently deletes data. In fact, if I reload the game right now and I just shut off the cheats, the game will load with its core original base game data.
CT Racing Corner. Said sup.
What's up, CT? Welcome. You're here to watch me block for 41st at Dega and try to catch Jimmy Means' draft and hope for yellows. Honestly, yellows are our only saving grace potentially here. No, but Doodlebug, seriously, send him my way, because I don't know how he lost data. There's literally nobody in the community that has said they've lost PC, like their saves and their game data and had things completely break. There's not a single person that said that. The 09 mods are different. You're changing the ISO file, so I could see that, but that's why you make a backup. He had to. He had.
Said how maybe Dresser did something wrong.
He had to. Like, there's... Nobody has lost data. Like I said, the most problems anybody's had is just not getting the mod to work
CT
at all.
Racing Corner. Said might as well man bored as hell.
Also, if you all want to ask me questions, random questions, literally anything, racing related, not racing related, I don't care. This is the best time for me to just chat it up with you guys is Dega in this game. Even if we were racing competitively, like even if we were having a good race or we get a yellow and can actually try for a few laps. Alright, we got 2 more laps, and then we'll pit again, and we'll do just right sides this time, I guess. How many tire wear even? That's not the right button. Oh, I don't know what button it is. It's not that one. Oh, that's apparently brake. What the heck? That's also brake. There's 2 buttons that are brake. Why are there 2 brakes? That's what I was looking for. Where's that button? I have no tire wear. Why do I have no tire wear going on?
CT Racing Corner.
That's weird.
Said how was your wedding, man?
Dude, the wedding was awesome. Did I talk about this on any streams at all? I might have talked about it on the PS1 stream a little bit. I don't know if I did. But, no, we had a great time. And everybody said it was a beautiful ceremony and it was a beautiful wedding. And we had a cool Unity ceremony thing with a 3D printed, like, really cool ass, like, double heart thing that we put together. It was cute. It was cool. It was fun. And then we had this really cool thing that was mostly her idea, but we were watching some Japan YouTube stuff. And I don't know if you know what a gacha machine is, but we... the one YouTuber we watch likes to go into gacha stores, and a couple of her videos she goes blindfolded and just randomly picks these machines and gets random. She doesn't know what she's getting out of the machines anyway, but she doesn't even know what machine she's picking. And what they are, if you don't know what they are, think the quarter machines that are at the front of like dollar store and used to be at the front of like Walmarts and stuff, and sometimes in restaurants they'll have the little quarter machines where you put a quarter in and you get a random toy or a sticker or something. You get a random something out of it. Candy, and some of them you just get out. Alright, I got a pit here. It's kind of like Japanese versions of those, but they have things like figures and posters and bags, and I'm in reverse. Why am I in reverse? Alright, we're trying... Should I do none? No, we'll do rights. But we bought one of those machines, and the 2 weeks before the wedding, we made little perlers and put magnets on them. Of all the things we like, all the nerdy things, all the cool things. I had a couple for my race. I had 2 for my race car. My number and then a trophy. I couldn't make a car. It was way too detailed to be as small as we had to make them because they have to fit in the little capsules. But it was so cool. We made all these cool things.
Said Galdman, very happy for you and your new wife enjoying your
Galdman.
marriage. Hope you guys have a happy life together.
I appreciate it, dude. But yeah, that gotcha machine was a big hit. We set it up right when we were eating cake, and we were gonna have the DJ announce it after we were done eating. And like, I think I got one bite in, and I looked up, and there's like 5 people at our table. Like, hey, what's this? Do we get something? What is this for? What does this do? So it was fun. And we had a couple family members that, well, I had a couple family members that are out of state, and one I get to see maybe once a year on average, and the other one I haven't seen in I don't even know how long, and it's my sister. And I mean, I think it's close to a decade since I've seen her. And my niece I haven't seen in 5 years, so that was fun getting to spend some time with them.
Pit Pro Gaming. Said I've started a YouTube channel for racing.
Sweet.
Are you opposed if I were to use your mod?
No, dude, I'm
Some
for it.
kind of licensing stuff?
No.
That may have been an obvious question, but I just want to be sure.
No, it's fair to ask. Not only am I for it, I'm not opposed. I'm for people playing the mods and posting videos and making content for it. But if you're in the Discord, or if you're thinking about joining the Discord, there's a channel in the Discord for NTO4 mod videos and streams. And anyone is allowed to post there. If you're playing this game modded at all, you're more than welcome to post there. So you could link your videos, you know, and there's at least a handful of people that'll be checking them out at minimum. I usually try to check out all the channels that cover the mod stuff. If I run out of stuff to watch on YouTube, I'll go over to channels that are doing it. It's great, man, and I understand the silent majority are the people that are playing. Like, there's a lot of people that are in the community and in the Discord that have only said a couple things, but they're playing the modded stuff on their own time and, you know, for fun. And that's awesome. But seeing people play it and enjoy it, you know, like, it helps motivate me to... Oh, he ran out of fuel. Greg Sachs is out of fuel. It motivates me to work on the stuff more. So, you know, the posted content is extra awesome, or people messaging. If you're someone watching this and you play it all the time and you haven't commented or you know, either here or in the Discord or something, like, throw a comment, tell me how much you're loving the mods, and what mod you're playing, what you're doing. Like, that stuff's so much fun to hear, and really gives me extra enjoyment and motivation to continue to plug away at all the crazy things I'm trying to figure out. I talked about it earlier in the stream. I don't think you guys were here specifically, but there's, I don't want to call it a bug, just kind of an oversight, that there's some secret code somewhere that I didn't know, that they take the driver ratings and manipulate them further. So we've been setting the driver ratings with the mod stuff behind the scenes, and it's been setting them correctly, but when you load into a track, it modifies them, and it makes some drivers perform differently than they should, than they do by their base stats. I don't know why they have that extra
CT
code,
Racing
because
Corner.
why have stats then?
Said me being one of the people I played all the time.
I know you do. You're
CT
active.
Racing Corner. Said in it badass, I love what AJ and his guys have done for this.
Hell yeah. CT, which stuff are you playing right now, though? Like, which season, which year, which mod, I guess? Or pack, anyway. I don't know. Are we only going to barely be with Venturini after we pit just because we were by ourselves for laps? My God. Yep. Although Greg Sachs running out of fuel and then getting in Petty's way helped
Pit
us
Pro
out.
Gaming. Said I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I'm going to set it up soon.
Sweet. Yeah, man, absolutely share that stuff. When you get some videos up, just share that stuff in the Discord. And I promise you, I'll check it out at some point. I might not get to it right away, but I'm still catching up a little bit. I'm maybe like 2-3 videos behind current for a couple people I'm watching.
CT Racing Corner. Said 1990 career mode.
Oh, sweet. So you're doing what I'm doing. Gotcha. Okay, are we gonna actually be able to keep some drafts for once? So we're with Greg Sachs now. Richard Petty here too. Putting him behind us is going to be helpful to keeping the draft. Finally got some people to work with. Maybe we pick off a couple positions here.
Racing Corner said the most time I played was 6 hours straight with the 1990.
Oh my god. That's awesome, dude. Honestly, there's two reasons I don't stream it more often. One is I like keeping it a one night a week consistent thing. I know I did a Sunday night one week when I couldn't do Saturday, but I like to try to keep it consistent so that people who actually want to tune in live, they know when it is. Now, unfortunately, not every, a Saturday night's not the greatest choice for a night to stream, but and I'm usually not up nearly as late as a lot of people, so I tend to cut the stream when a lot of people are just getting online. But East Coast, being an adult, that's what happens.
Said, yeah, I won the Daytona 500. Current points leader, not by much over Dale Earn had 10-point lead.
You won the 500 and you're leading the points in rookie career mode? Or not in rookie career mode, in your first season of career mode? What the heck? Are you playing on Legend? Are you doing custom setups? Actually, that's also a question I should ask. Because that's something I don't do just so it stays difficult. Well, where the heck did we blow him away that much? Hang on, I have intervals, haha. Yeah, we pulled away from Petty by like 2 seconds already. Sick. Alright, well I found somebody I could draft with, which is great. We're gonna catch Jimmy Means here in a bit. Although we're gonna have to pit in a few laps. About like 3-4 laps. Oh,
CT
custom
Racing
setups,
Corner.
okay.
Said yup. CT Racing Corner said custom.
See, to me, that takes the fun out of it, personally. But, I mean, to each their own. Like, you do you. And you could always up the AI to later, like, something other than year one to make them faster yet. Actually, that wouldn't be the worst thing to do as a, like, custom setup player. Is to start a career with the AI set to like year 5, because year 6 gets a little funky about drivers performing differently than they should, because their ratings all get kind of mushed close together. But playing year 5 might year 5 in year 1, if that makes sense. Year 5 setting in the mod tool in your first year career with custom setups, that might balance it back out.
CT Racing Corner said it's on hard, do not worry.
Yeah, on Legend. I'm guessing you mean. No, why are you running away from the I need your draft. Don't do this to me. You checked me up with the auto brake. And then you're going to run the high side. No! I'm going to lose him. Oh, no. Okay, well, we're about to pit again, though. But hot dang, that was a really unfortunate move for us. Yeah, and he's just going to keep running up the hill. Dang it. Gosh, I can't believe he did that. Oh, if I could find where the auto brake is and shut that off, it would be such a glorious time. I really hate that when you get to run on somebody and it just is like, oh, jam brakes. Or they check up and it checks you up before you can even react. That's like the worst feature they put in there. I understand they don't want you to just run in the back of people by accident, and it was, but like that should be an option, not a forced setting, not a like you have no choice setting. Man. Alright, well they're gonna get held up by who is that coming out of the pits? Is that Venturini again? That's Venturini. I don't think it's gonna be held up enough though.
CT Racing Corner said, yeah, I cow you saw in the Discord, my birthday is next week on Wednesday. I turned 22 this year and I get to be at the track for it.
Yeah.
CT Racing Corner
I remember.
said, I think you saw it, not sure.
I did. I thought I did. I thought I was talking to you about that stuff. Or, no, I was talking to you about running a real car. I don't know if that was related to when your birthday's coming, but I don't know if that was in the same discussion is what I mean. And the leaders caught us. Bill Elliott, here he comes. Oh, Harry Ganson's second. Heck yeah. DW in the top 5. I love to see it. Ooh, Harry Gant's right there. He's not just second. He's right there. And we have to pit. Okay, let me get out of the... Let me not affect the lead battle. Oh my god, if Harry Gant wins this race, that'd be so great. Okay. Let's not take any tires. And get in and out of the pits fast. I know I don't normally do that stuff on here. I don't know if I even need to show the crew. I mean, I guess the fuel guys can mess up. Wait, did Mikey blow up? Mikey blew up a while ago. I didn't notice. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, look at that grill. Yeah, Oldsmobile.
CT Racing Corner. Said my racing career, yet I need to buy a new Hans device. My on doesn't work for my hello.
Oh, that's not good.
RILZ Gomez. Said is your Discord in the description?
Not of this video, but you know what? That's a good mention. I should put all that stuff in all of these live videos.
Said it's not.
It's in the description of the regular modding videos. Anything that's not live that's modding this game should have the Discord link in the description. That's a good shout, though. I need to make a new description that's in every single one of these live streams. That includes, like, hey, here's links to mod tools, here's links to the Discord, and all that stuff. Give me draft. I tried to sniff a little bit. And we are just behind this pack. Although I think we're one of the early ones to pit there. I think right after this stream, like if I still have, we got one more race to run yet, but if I still have time to mess around with this game tonight, I'm gonna really try to dig into the one idea I have to find out where the game modifies the driver stats for the race. Because if I could fix that, oh my god, it'd be so much better. It's like I said, whoever gets Dale Jarrett's slot performs better than they should. Whoever gets Greg Biffle's slot performs worse than they should. The fantasy driver slots are very hit and miss from one track to the next. I would love to be able to like get proper control of driver ratings per race. It'd be so good if I could find that out. Especially if I find, like, because there's code running, there's things happening. I don't know what it's calculating or where it's calculating it, but it'd be so great.
Said sweet not home Alabama cause I don't live in Alabama, I still live in the South though.
Sweet home somewhere near Alabama. We are by ourselves yet again. No drafters in sight. Leaders way behind us. Although Bill Elliott's leading, Harry Gant pit. Oh man, I wonder if that's going to get him the lead or not. I wonder if that'll help him or not. That'd be interesting. Because they were nose to tail when I pit. So we'll see whether pitting sooner or later at this track makes a difference for them. We have to pay attention to when they cycle, whether Bill Elliott or Harry Gant's in the lead. Those lead lap cars were going by? Yeah. Or a lap ahead of us. I just want a draft partner. Also remember, if I find that final rating thing, we can make pack racing more of a thing here.
Said Georgia is close enough so it works for me, I guess.
Yeah. You could take the Super Mario movie Bowser Peach's song and just play that around Georgia. Peaches, peaches, peaches. No? Maybe?
Doodlebug 5. Said at RILZ Gomez what then? I live somewhere there to OMG LOL.
Sweet. Y'all boys from the south. That was probably insulting to somebody. I'm sorry.
Said the asterisk.
The asterisk. No, I know what you mean. What the? Oh, I got nobody's draft. I got no... Is that Gant in front of us on track? I mean, he's a lap ahead, but is that him? Yeah, that should be him. We might get to see the lead battle go down. Oh, no, he's going to get held up in here. Up in 3 and 4 a little bit by means.
Said sweet home so far away for Alabama for anyone living in the western states. Nico Darius. Said sup.
Sup, Nico?
Nico Darius.
Is it Nico? Is it Neko? I never know. I thought it was Neko.
Yep.
Yep. We got one more race yet, Neko.
Said from asterisk.
Also, I'm about to be 39th here. Petty's for position. But we have... Look, there goes Harry Gant by Bill Elliott for what will be the lead when pit stops cycle. Harry Gant is going to have a big lead with only a few laps to go. Oh, snap. Harry Gant going to get his first win of our career mode here. It's going to be fantastic. Man, Brett Bodine win Daytona 500, and then he blew up in the July race while running up front. Did Derek Cope win the July race? Is that what ended up... I think that's what ended up happening, if I remember right. Look, it even shows a minute correctly, kind of, as leading 0. But look, my intervals show up kind of correctly there, too.
Falcon 1824 has been in Dressler Place streams, chat, and stuff before. Nico Darius. Said bro. I just recorded my NT06 series at Talladega. Nico Darius. Said I'm so happy. CT Racing Corner. Said nice.
Alright, so now the battle's for second behind us. I don't know how to do this without getting in the way. If I go low, I'll probably be in the way of Kawicki by the time we get to turn 3. If I go here, I'll go super high. Go by me.
Nico Darius. Said I'm glad your intervals are looking good.
Yeah, man. The only downside, the big downside, I mean, it's not a big downside, but one of the downsides that kind of sucks is if you pause the game, it messes up.
Let's go. CT Racing Corner. Said I also reached 700 subscribers on YouTube. Now I'm happy.
That's awesome. I don't know how you do that, CT.
Said get in the way anyways.
No, that's not how I roll. I'm 39th. They're battling for second. I'm not getting in the road. It doesn't do anything for me. No, CT, dude, I don't know. I don't know what my sub count's at. We have a couple of videos that have gone over thousands, but like I don't know. The sub count's not great.
Please cause it's so big over the screen. Nico Darius.
Nah.
Said congrats CT.
Would it be readable if I shrunk it more? Maybe I'll mess with it after the checkered.
Said, wait, WDYM if you pause the game it glitches.
So
Nico Darius. Said dang Laffer's always in the way.
So, Doodlebug, the way I had to do intervals, this is not the data that exists in the game for the intervals that show up at the start-finish line or in the pause menu. I could not find where that data lived in the game. But, I'm a programmer. This is what I do. For work, for fun, I'm a coder. So, I figured out a way to, based on the data that I did know where it exists for the pylons.
Nico Darius. Said isn't shrink it to focus on the player car.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll do that for you. I'm not doing that for me. I like the full pylon being there. But I had to do some coding magic to manually calculate the intervals based on data I have. So, essentially what happens is when someone crosses the start-finish line, their lap number changes. When their lap number changes, I trigger code that... somebody blew up right at the end here. Am I even going to get them for position? Oh, don't kill him. Don't kill him, Mark. Don't kill him. It's Jimmy Spencer. That was a position. Yay. So when you cross the start-finish line, or any car crosses the start-finish line, their lap number changes. When their lap number changes, my code updates and triggers based off a live timer that's on your computer. So it checks the time down to the millisecond. And I use that to then calculate versus the leader when they cross the line last, whatever their last clock update was. That's how I calculate the intervals. If you're lapped and stuff, it's just a lap
CT Racing Corner
comparison.
said I'm almost to 1,000 subs on YouTube, then I can get my custom play button. Yeah, thank you guys. The NASCAR series I've been doing start and part qualifying lap series been going super well. Play the factory.
We lost 38th. We lost 38th right at the end. Oh my god.
Nico Darius said that
Not a
don't
single
give play
caution
buttons
lap
for
was won in the
1,000
whole
subs.
race.
No.
That's good news for all these race teams because that can mean.
But I would love 1,000 subs. Anybody watching? If y'all aren't subbed yet, what are you doing?
CT Racing Corner
Well, it's going to be a happy
said, yeah, I have a friend who made one for me.
They can immediately go to work on next week's car without having to worry about fixing anything from this race, and that makes for a much less stressful atmosphere.
From all of us here at EA
It was a
Sports
disappointing
MRN,
super speedway race
thanks
for us.
joining us today. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Oh, Watkins Glen's next. Road course. I still gotta update that texture. Okay, we did all the sponsor goals.
Nico Darius said I subbed on 3 accounts.
Harry, heck yes.
RILZ Gomez said, well, I just did so boom.
Thank you.
Nico Darius said that. Never mind.
Okay, so Harry Gant wins at Talladega. Awesome. Bill Elliott second. Alan Kwicky, Derek Cope, Sterling Marlin, the top 5. What a top 5.
Nico Darius
Butch Miller.
said, welcome to AJ's mod at RILZ Gomez.
Dale Jarrett with a top 10. Davey Allison got a top 10. He finally had a good finish where he's supposed to. How about that? He overcame the ratings there a minute.
CT Racing Corner said, when I reached 500 subs, one of my friends reached out to me and made me a custom play button.
Yo, Mickey Gibbs, 16th. My dad, 17th. Sick.
Nico Darius said, that's not a play button.
Lakes, guys, please, just drop the topic, please. Lake Speed, 20th. Jimmy Horton didn't have a good race for once. They didn't do his stats up. Who else is notable?
Nico Darius said, Denny Hamlin is GOAT in 2006 LMAO.
Neil bombed.
CT Racing Corner said, oh. RILZ Gomez
Tim Richmond
said, and
bombed.
Nico Darius thanks.
I don't mean to shut you guys down. I just don't want you arguing over something that, like, look, he's happy about it. It doesn't bother you. Like, just let it go. It ain't worth arguing about. Y'all can both be happy. Oh, let's see. All right, so we gotta load up. Oops, I can speed this up.
CT Racing Corner.
No, you're good. Don't apologize. You guys are good. Just like, it's all good. Just, you know. Let's all chill. You guys can agree to disagree. I do that all the time. That's how I'm happily married now. I could say that. Alright, let's restart the mod tool. Let me switch my view so you guys can see. Mod tool. Alright, 1990. Load the pack. We are running Watkins Glen is next. There's only one Watkins Glen, so we'll put Sonoma stats up. Watkins Glen. 200% stat modifier. Finalize. Let's go to this tab and make sure we have the right drivers in. So DW was injured. Jimmy Horton did not run the road courses for some reason, so we'll drop him. Neil Bonnet was injured, so we're leaving the injured guys in. Greg Sachs ran it, so we'll switch him to full time.
Nico Darius said mod 2
Yeah,
secret.
this right here. This is a new feature. One driver per number active. That's coming in the next update. That'll be out sometime soonish. J.D. McDuffie ran the Glen. Jerry O'Neill ran the Glen. And then here's our ringers. Irv Orr and Tommy Kendall ran the Glen. That puts us at 38. Plus us is 39, so we'll have 4 random people. We'll generate those.
CT Racing Corner said, yeah, I got no issue with the disagreement, just really happy to know my hard work is not going unnotices.
Dude,
Doodlebug 5 said Jimmy Horton didn't run road courses in 1990 for some reason. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
Doodlebug
it's
5
one of the few...
said, did he have someone else drive the car at least?
No, they didn't have the car at all.
Doodlebug 5 said, like what teams did back in the day.
No, they didn't. That 80 car did not run road courses. There's a couple other races he didn't run. I don't know why. I don't know the actual reasons behind it. This is where we need Falcon. He usually knows these random things from the 90s. But, oh, and my car number updated. I see that finally changed. I don't that 07. I can't get 07 to display here.
Doodlebug 5. Said weird.
Not nicely anyway. I can't. Okay, we have Mark Martin. Oh, I need to check the team management stuff. That's what I need to check. So, sponsoring. Why'd the prestige drop? You guys were all happy. I did everything good there. Okay, we have nothing new here, but I did want to repair this one.
Said he could have at least gotten a road course ringer to run the car.
You would think, unless they just didn't know how to do a road course setup at all, and we're just like, eh. Because, I mean, the payout wasn't great, I don't think, for the road courses, so that might have been part of why. Alright, we should be able to quick select, I think. Do we have... We have one of everything. They're pretty worn down, but that's fine. We're at Watkins Glen. We don't need anything fancy.
Doodlebug 5. Said cause in 2002 the 22 car, if I remember correctly, had a road course driver or something for the Glen. Patrick Jenks. Said hey yo.
Hey yo, Patrick. Yeah, oh my lord. Oh, and I broke the pylon. What did I break? How did I break the pylon? I broke it. Who, what? Oh, Pat subscribed. Thanks, dude. Awesome.
Racing Rebel YT. Said what you owe folks.
Dang, that didn't show one of my custom... I need to set up a custom thing for when that happens.
Racing Rebel YT.
I shouldn't need to set
Said what
that
up,
if I do
folks.
this. What up, Rebel? Racing Rebel? Let's set these live tools. See if I can get this to work this time. I don't know why... Oh, because I'm not at the track. That's why it didn't work. Dummy. Okay, actually, I don't want the pylon to show right now because it'll be jittery. Hang on. Let's hide it here. Oops. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's the only downside to the new pylon thing is that until you get the race going, it's a little funky. Display that, and then full screen that, and then go back to normal speed, and we're good to go. Oh, Larry Pearson in the field. Ted Musgrave. We got some fun part-timers in here. Yo, where is everybody coming from right now? Hello, everybody. Oh my God, I missed turn one. Also, for anyone who doesn't normally run...
Said, hey, what's good?
Oh my God, everybody! Hello, people! I need to change that notification. I have a bunch of Dragon Ball ones for the Twitch stuff, and I never actually set up the custom ones for YouTube, so I gotta do that.
Nico Darius.
But I appreciate it. That's awesome, guys.
CT Racing Corner. Said me.
Why'd you just randomly say Georgia and
CT
me?
Racing Corner. Said my other accounts.
Oh! You guys are crazy. I would say you guys are crazy with your multiple accounts, but I have like 8 YouTube accounts for various things.
Nico Darius. Said look at all those cool people coming in.
You guys are fun. I was gonna say, for those that don't normally run in-car view in this game, when you turn right all the way, the input kind of gets jittery. That's not my old age hands not working well for using a controller. That's just, the game never lets you turn fully to the right, and it kind of jitters between like that's just short of it.
CT Racing Corner. Said gained you a lot of subs. You're welcome, brother.
No, I appreciate it, guys. I don't even know what my sub count is, but it's much less than yours. And I mean, if you go back and you check some of the oldest videos on this channel, and this isn't my oldest channel, but if you check how old some of my oldest videos are, I've been on a long time. I'm an old guy, as far as YouTubers go, I guess. And streamers and whatever else. Oh. It got drifty there. Also remember, I'm running manual shifting in this. I always run manual shifting in this. I gotta double check we're in the default set though. I haven't been doing that today.
CT Racing Corner.
Oh, sick, really?
Said you were only one away from 500.
Heck yeah.
RILZ Gomez. Said, are you implying that Georgia is not worth mentioning?
No, I just want context. Neko just randomly is like, Georgia. No context. Let's make sure this is default. Alright, reload. Make sure it's default. Transmission to manual. Okay. We're good. And I can show the pylon. Excuse me, at this point. Intervals are update when we hit the line.
The Sirius at the Glen. There aren't many road courses on the NASCAR Winston Cup schedule. What will the drivers have to deal with in this one, Barney?
Well, the Glen is quite fast for a road course. The problem is
CT Racing Corner. Said LOL.
This breaking point can spell disaster for these drivers if they shoot through a corner too fast.
RILZ Gomez. Said, I was just messing, don't worry.
I know.
Duddlebug 5. Said, I joined the Discord in sub.
Thanks, Duddlebug.
Just felt like it, I guess.
Appreciate it, dude.
So to come out and start banging fenders with these guys at age 19, you gotta admire that.
The 7 car just never seems to get the car where he'd like.
I need to cheat my dad's ally ranking back up. He left me at Dega. No, we'll be good here. Or better than... Oh, that was it. Only two drivers, Kyle Petty and me. Front row, we got Kowicki and Mark Martin on the front row. Alright. Turn 1, we're going to do it. Early lane change, but it's 1990. They'd sometimes get 5 wide at Michigan by the time they hit the start-finish line. It was ridiculous back then. Oh, I bumped him. I bumped him again. Harry just won at Dega. Now we're racing him for running into him in turn 1 at the Glen. Oh, oh no, now I'm going to make an enemy out of him. No, don't immediately. Harry. Handsome Harry. No, and then Dick Trickle. Oh no, it's already going bad. We're so far back too. Oh. Okay, we ran side by side with Dick Trickle through the bus stop. He's still there. We're 3 wide. We're 3 wide. We're 3.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said Onulu. Why did I have to join in on Watkins Glen?
Dude, Watkins Glen's great. I'm just not doing great.
Said oof.
Oof. Oh! God, you guys parked it there. Okay, Morgan didn't get that mad. He understands. He's like, y'all, they all checked up in front of me. Alright, that was a way too crazy lap 1. Wow, Dick Trickle sent it. Oh, he ran into...
Said great track, not great when making allies.
Yeah, we're okay right now, though. It just had to get a little sorted out from the start, I think. Also, we have the AI cranked up to 200% their normal ratings. Not normal ratings, but like close to their normal ratings. So that they're actually hard at the road courses and not just a pushover. And that makes them really aggressive and run into each other in braking zones more often than they usually do. And me, for that matter.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said AI really needs the 200% for the road courses.
Yes. I didn't make it... I was going to make it more than 200% as the cap, but the thing is they hit their max ratings, like especially if you're running later year setting, like year 4 or 5, they'll hit the cap. And then everybody's got the same rating and it doesn't quite work out the way you want it to. So I had to leave a little wiggle room by putting it at, capping it at 200. But it seems fine. We're running 32nd. That's what you should be running as a rookie in this game with crap equipment. In default setups. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. You got Dick Trickle up. Excuse me. Is he still there now? Nope. You need to tell me I'm clear, spotter. What are you doing? Rob Moroso, fellow rookie. Who's winning? Mark Martin's winning. I had to look.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said, wait a minute.
We're drifting.
Mark Martin in 1 ST. That's not allowed. He is only allowed 2nd.
Why? Why is Mark Martin not allowed to win? This isn't the championship. This is a race. Actually, he is leading the points, though. Right now. Maybe Mark will get the championship he deserved back here. And then Earnhardt's only going to be a 6-time champ,
Mark
potentially.
Usman 6RL. Said
Oh.
why did it say 1ST and then correctly say second?
I don't know what you mean. Oh, in the in the text. Yeah, I don't know. Speech or text to speech is weird, dude. Also, welcome, Marcus. I haven't seen you in a while, dude. I see you playing Rocket League every once in a while, and I'm like, man, I kind of want to play it again, and I'm like, I can't. I get too competitive and angry at that game. I don't know how to play it casual anymore. Is the problem? Unless I'm playing the non-regular mode. Okay, we're moving up slowly.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said I love Mark, but his slap shoes says, nice guys don't finish last, but they finish second frustratingly often.
You know what? I like that stamp. Oh, we had a spinner. No yellow. We haven't had a spinner like in many races here. It's been a while. I like that statement though because I like to think I'm nice. And I think I finished second like 7 or 8 times in real racing before I won my first race. So I like that statement for that reason only. Alright, we're almost back where we were, as you can tell by the Harry Gant pissed off icon. I pissed off Harry Gant. How did... You got a yellow! Where? I'm gonna pit. Because I haven't been paying attention to our fuel, so I have no idea. Rusty Wall spins out of turn 1! Where was he running? Well, he's showing 5th now. Oh, he ran into Tim Richmond getting back on track. Wait, did it put him back in 5th? He got spots back? What is this? The lock the field iRacing style? Alright, we're pitting. Let's show our pit crew members. By the way, if one of y'all is not on this pit crew list and you want to be randomly assigned to the ones that don't have an asterisk, let me know. I'll randomly assign you for the next stream. Also, yes, the interval does mess up on the pylon when you're under yellow. It's weird. So I'll just do this for now. Oh, okay. Half the field pitting. Pit strats. Oh, there's Tommy Kendall, one of the road ringers. Irvor, I think I saw was running top 10
Carson
somewhere.
Thoughtboy.
Ooh, he stayed out.
Said Kyle Petty up front. That's my man right there.
Heck yeah. I don't know if this is accurate under caution. So I can't promise that. But Petty had a good couple of races earlier in the season. Here we go. Hide the crew. Got some right front damage from running into Handsome Harry, and left side. I got donuts everywhere. That first lap was really bad. Alright. Lost a couple spots. Although Tim Richmond is back here. What happened?
Said I know him personally IRL and traveled around the country with him for a couple seasons.
Oh, sick. Alright, so the top 16 stayed out. Kowicki's the leader. Yeah, that updated now. That was wrong. McDuffie's in the top 10 right now with this pit cycle. Look at this whole field being weird. Although they're all going to have to pit sometime. Oh, don't kill turn 1. Don't kill turn 1.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said damn.
Jerry
40
O'Neill
second
behind
now.
us.
He'll go cry now.
Hey, Kyle has some good races in this when we're running the race-to-race stats. Because he used to kick ass in the early 90s. That was a bad... I don't know why I upshifted that early. Bye-bye, Richard. Bye-bye, Jerry O'Neill. Oh, heartbreaking. I didn't brake in time. Oh. Okay. We just scratched the paint. We're good. Oh, I've scratched it more. What am I doing? I was racing just fine. Okay. Oh god, I didn't even know Pearson was there that whole time. Larry Pearson just chilling next to us. Do I have the wrong number for him on the pylon? That's interesting. Maybe I need to fix that. Yeah, I do. It's showing him as the 16. He's the 41 sometimes and the 16 sometimes. Alright, note to me. Pylon images may not reflect the paint scheme that is being run. So I need to update that at some point. Oh, I drifted in Neil. Let's stay in third here. Because last time we shifted to fourth early and Richard Petty blew us away at the top of the hill. Oh, God. We drifted. No, they just blow us away on this part of the straightaway. Which isn't the... Oh, my God. Larry sent it. Larry sent it into the bus stop. I didn't hear what you said. Oh, God. Because I was going into the bus stop and I was panicking. Nice save. Oh, thank you. I made another one while you were talking, I think. or not while you were talking, while the text-to-speech was reading that. Get out of the road. You guys are slow in 10 and 11. Or mostly 10, but... Okay, I don't need to downshift there. Why am I downshifting there? Road courses are fun. They're hectic, and I'm not great at them on Sims. I'm okay at them, but I'm not great. But they're fun on games.
Carson Thoughtboy said just assume I say it whenever you save it.
Alright, fair enough. That's that dirt track experience kicking in. Jimmy, come on, we're both from PA. You don't need to run back in there. I just passed you. Oh God, oh God. I panic in the brake. Why is the car going right? I was braking with the wheel straight and it was hooking right. Got some weird brake bias going on up front. It's like staggered-ish. Got him. Got him in the carousel. Oh no, that's not the carousel. Somebody should, like, in real life, be sitting wherever the nearest seating is to the carousel with the campers and just play the whole race really loud carousel music. Like, so the drivers could maybe hear it under yellow or something. Or just under yellow, play it or something. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. Romoroso, fellow rookie. Let's go single file through here. Okay, maybe not, because you went really slow through the first. Why'd you go out so wide? You went so slow through the first one, and then you went wide into the second one. Rusty Wallace is behind us after his spin. He must have went to the back. Did it send him to the back for being the yellow? Oh God, he's flying. He's throwing it in. Oh God, no, I don't know how we're alive. I don't know. Oh God, we're pissed. Oh God. Oh God. Neil's mad at us. You ran in the back of me. I was getting pinballed. Rusty Wallace started that chain of events by throwing it in on my left side into the bus stop, and then I completely missed it.
Said Mike Joy in the booth starts singing it every time they come through the carousel.
Does he really? I've never heard that. Oh. How's DW behind us? We got some fast people behind us. Mikey's still leading this thing. Mark's almost made his way back up there after pitting. Oh my God.
Said no, I'm saying he needs to.
Oh, he needs to. Yeah. I gotcha. Whoa. Somebody crunched behind. Go! Somebody crunched behind us, and I ran into Greg Saxon. He was one of the few people who wasn't in the red. You guys run so slow in that first one, but then you turn in late here, so I cross over. Alright, let's ultra slim draft. That doesn't make sense. That joke is bad. Alright, we're past halfway, barely. This race feels like a marathon, because it's chaotic. Why do you got... I gotta stop following you into the carousel. This is my passing zone. Or one of them. Oh God, I see as I run out of it bad. And then the next corner you guys were really slow, so I need to avoid you there too. Another yellow! Debris? From whom? At whom? Is that even the right use of whom? Am I wordsing wrong? We went so many races with no yellows, and then Watkins Glen is like 2 cautions already. From me, I mean, I got pinballed, but I didn't realize the nose was crunched in that bad. Well, shnikes, we were the yellow. All right, we're gonna pit again because I don't know what our fuel mileage is, and I haven't been paying attention. And I'm gonna speed it up a
CT
little.
Racing Corner. Said from someone.
From someone, it was
Carson
me.
Thoughtboy.
It was me.
Said was hoping the caution was for someone doing a Kevin Lepage.
Lepage. This is text to speech. Lepage. Oh, oh no, no, no! Why does the menu do that? I pressed up once and it registered it like being held for a split second. Now we're gonna be last without. Oh my god. Alright, everybody on the pit crew that is showing on the screen right now, y'all are safe. I'm fired. Me fired. Oh, God. I don't know why that happened. That didn't make any sense. Did it, like, I pressed up once and it went boom. Yeah. And we're... Wait, how are we ahead of some people? Is that Irvor behind us? Yeah, it is. Oh, my dad. My dad. And Kyle Petty's behind us. Why are they at the back? Oh, they're lapped. When did they get lapped? How did they get lapped? Why are people wrecking? Help. So many questions. Why are Kyle Petty and Irvor lapped? What happened with the scoring in this race? I'm going to have to watch this back. I remember they turned late here. Okay. My dad didn't hit me. Good job, Dad.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said 3 wide into turn 1. Ballsy. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we got to make up ground for aborting a pit stop and just giving up all track position. Okay, 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 okay. Good bus stop, good bus stop. Get that exit. Excuse me. No, no, I was here. Morgan! We're making enemies. We're making enemies. We're making enemies everywhere. I'm hitting the inside wall. That means we're going too slow, DW. I mean, you got traffic. I get it. Alright, y'all do this corner slow. But you're gonna block the damn bottom and everything. God! DW! Ah! Maybe if you didn't block into 10, I wouldn't have hit you, DW. Get the Tide Pods out of your eye, even though they're not invented yet. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. 3 wide in the middle into turn 1 and clean. 3 wide in the middle into turn 2. Not clean. Don't care. Okay, we got room to, we got room to, oh. I don't even care, DW. You blocked the crap out of me. Oh gosh. I didn't appreciate it. Although Neil is mad at us enough to run into us, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do up here. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I didn't want to fly in like that. Okay, okay, we're okay. We're okay. We're just gonna chill over here. We're gonna run a different track entirely. Okay, how do we get Neil clean? Okay, we make it 3 wide. Oh, he's just gonna hit us now. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, don't block me, Jared. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. And then I'm gonna dive it. Dive it in. 2 spots. Good exit. 3 spots. Excuse me. 5 spots. Oh, Marcus, no, I'm sorry. Wait, people are pitting. What are you guys doing? Wait, can I not make it? Oh, no. I haven't been paying attention to fuel. We got 3 to go. I have 3 gallons left. Alright, we gotta see what it is when we come around. I missed turn 1. We're okay. Grass is alright in this game. What is our fuel burn? I have not been looking. Excuse me. Rosso! Yeah, okay. We're burning more than a gallon a lap, so we have to pit. I don't know, like, okay, so here's the thing. Will the AI not take tires since it's so late? Because if they all take tires, I'm fine with taking tires to keep it fair. But I don't know. They seem to pit pretty long, so maybe they did take tires.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said AI will always do 4 tires and full
Okay.
fuel.
And so will I. I'm not gonna cheese it for more spots. We're caught back up to Rusty and up to Tommy Kendall at Road Ringer. It said 21 seconds because of the damage. I should have unchecked the damage. Oh my god, I'm doing all the things wrong today. Sonoma could have, Infineon could have been good. I ran out of gas. Watkins Glen could have been good, and I'm pinballing and aborting pit stops. Oh my gosh. All the mess. Look at that front end, oh my god. And go. My gosh. I mean, on the bright side, we could have easily DNF'd, but on the not so bright side, I think we're pretty far back, as if we...
Carson thought
Yeah,
good.
we're basically as if
Said
we were
no
going to DNF.
mistakes. Can't complain there.
Oh, some of the AI didn't even have to pit. They could make it. Unless they run out on the last lap. Oh my god, people running out of gas on the last lap at Watkins Glen, that'd be really weird and hilarious. God, I might as well have DNF'd, because, like, fixing the damage, I lost so much freaking time. Also, I'm not convinced that the AI took 4 tires. Look at them all. We were up to, I don't know, we were running well-ish for restarting in the back, and now we're at the back again. Because I fixed damage, partially. Is the reason. But I don't think... We lost like 3 seconds. This is... If I was 3 seconds up, I'm only 1 position up. So I don't think they took 4 tires. There, we got 1 lap to dig. And we're going to get a whole, like, 1 spot out of it. Unless people run out of gas. And they don't look like they are. Who did I pass? It's a great pass. Was somebody actually in the pits there? I don't need to save them. You just changed them.
Carson thought boy. Said unless the modding has changed the AI code. In base game they always will get 4.
I mean, in base game they're supposed to always get 4. Except, like, I do think in some extreme circumstances like this one, I don't think they do. Where it's so few laps to go, they just take 2 or none or whatever. Well, I don't think they take none, but they take 2. Alright, bye. I don't care. We got robbed. Oh, he hit the wall. Would you take a swing at me, Trickle? He didn't like that. Oops, I downshifted. Is Phil Barkdahl's going to beat us? Oh my god. We had a good race. I mean, it started out atrocious, and I made a bunch of enemies right at the beginning, but I still was fast. Hot dang. 2 road courses that could have been great. 2 disappointing, really bad finishes for both road courses. Talladega was atrocious. This is a bad season. DW must have blown up. Mikey must have blown up because you could see their intervals are not correct there.
Late changes were pretty scarce.
Oh, there's me running into Harry the second time, and then he walled me. Oh, and then Dick Trickle hit us.
He stayed in the fight all race
Oh
long.
no.
Things just never quite went his way.
That's right.
Probably won't be hanging out after the
Oh.
race with the 21 car.
I'm not sure how all this got started, but now that they have a little history on the track,
Look at my
there's
car.
something to watch in the weeks ahead.
Because I aborted the pit stop.
Here at MRN, we hope you enjoyed today's race, and we'll see you next time.
After I lost the debris and brought out the yellow, I aborted the pit stop, so there's no front end at the time. But then when we pit, I thought I had the front end. I don't know what's happening. Oh, God. That was so bad. Oh, Bonnet's car doesn't show? Oh, yeah, he is late in the pack, I guess. That's true. There's only so many textures. On the bright side, our sponsor income is 157, so that's fun.
Said alright, it's been fun, but I gotta go.
Yep.
Thanks for streaming.
I'm gonna go. There's no more races tonight anyway. I'm gonna go through the results and stuff, and then go through the point standings and garage stuff, and then I'm gonna go. Tim Richmond and Davey Allison both with good finishes. Finally, Davey 4th, Tim Richmond 6th, Terry Labonte with a 7th, Larry Pearson, Jimmy Means with a top
Needham.
10.
Said what's up?
What up, Needham? You're just in time for the end of the stream. Watkins Glen ended it. Look at this finishing order. It got so wacky.
Said how's the championship going?
We'll check it right after we go through the stats here. Man, Petty with 11th, Jerry O'Neill 13th, Tommy Kendall the Road Ringer 15th, Neil Bonnet 19th. Let's see. Rudd had a bad race. I mean, a lot of these people pit off sequence near the end, so like the cautions and the pit stops got really wacky for a lot of them. Harry Gant's mad at us now. I did atrocious after running well because of pit stops and things. Irvor blew. No, he got trapped a lap down. I still don't know why. Him and Kyle Petty should not have been lapped, so I'll have to watch it back and see.
I was doing laps around New York for IMSA League LMAO.
Heck yeah, dude. And DW blew up late or something.
Said, holy shit, no way you got the intervals. Neto.
Yes.
Said, how?
Okay. I'll explain it one more time. So the intervals. What I did.
Thought boy. Said Kyle in 41st. That was the hardest part of watching him.
I don't know why, dude. I don't know how he got lapped. It doesn't make sense. I think it glitched out or something happened. But, so the intervals, it's not the actual interval data in the game. What I did was I did some programming magic. I already had what lap drivers were on and when that changed, and what, like other pieces of data. So what I did is when the driver's lap changes, when it increases, I put a timer, I put a clock stamp, essentially, like a time stamp, saved. And if that driver's the leader, it doesn't show. If it's somebody else, I compare the lap to see if they're lapped to the leader's lap, and I compare, if they're not lapped, I compare the clock timestamp. The only thing is if you pause the game in the middle of a lap, it'll mess up anyone who hasn't crossed the line yet for that lap, and then it fixes. The next lap it'll be fine. So I just did some coding magic with some actual clocks and just comparing to when they cross the line, and it works 90% of the time. Cautions it doesn't. The initial start, it's kind of crazy, but then it works. And it's within 5 1,000ths of a second is plus or minus accuracy there. So just to recap, we had Harry Gant win Talladega, which is sick. Mark Martin got the Glen win. Mark's been leading the points, so that's going to help him.
Said awesome.
Bill Elliott, 32 points back on Mark. Jeff Bodine, third. Rusty Wallace, Alan Kowicki, Ricky Rudd. Sterling Marlin, seventh in points. Earnhardt has faded so bad. He was battling Mark for a while, and he's back to eighth in points. Had some DNFs and bad races. DW 9th, Mikey 10th. They've been swapping this spot. And look, they're only 4 points apart. They've been swapping this back and forth for a while. Derek Cope just outside the top 10. Butch Miller performing fantastically. I have to see what driver he's mapped to. He might be in the weird, like, hey, we got issues with how this is working driver things. I don't know. Now we got people mad at us. Not super mad. That's not too bad. I can deal with that. Nobody's happy except my dad. Rick Masters, we passed him clean a couple times, I guess, at one point. Oh, I haven't checked these. We got... I didn't realize we beat Moroso all those races, that whether he was in them or not. Move of the race. I always think the stat's interesting. I don't know what it means. Terry Labonte, move of the race at Pocono. Jeff Bodine at Talladega. And Terry Labonte again at Watkins Glen. For some reason. I don't know how that award works, but that's interesting. All right. Let's see. Our sponsors expired. Ooh, we could get a new paint scheme for next race. All right, well, let's set up, okay, some of this is done. Let's set these up. We should just repair that one. Save our pennies. This one, it only does durability. I almost don't want to spend for that one, but whatever, we'll do it. So we can build more. And that's got one more race. So...
Said I've got it once at a race like I think at Watkins Glen, and I believe I just did some like crazy dive bomb, I don't know.
You got what once at Watkins Glen? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Alright, new sponsor offers. Okay, we'll start with primary. Valvoline returns, offers to return. We get 35th place finish for the bonus. True value for an average finish at 35th.
Said move of the race.
Oh, move of the race. Yeah. I don't know how it calculates that. I really am curious. I've done crazy moves, especially that Watkins Glen race, and it doesn't matter. And the Nescafe with average finish of 40th. We should look at our average quick before we sign a contract, so we know what we're working with. It should be better than 35th, but the last two races were not, so oops, let's go the other way. Yeah, okay. I forget who told me last stream, but 35 counts as average of 35th, even if it's over. If it's 35 point anything, it's fine. So we can take the average 35th. So Valvoline, we could keep Valvoline, or we could switch to True Value or Nescafe. Really, any of the three are fine. God, do we switch to True Value?
Said, yeah, I feel like it's randomized, haha. I might be wrong, I don't know if I've ever got it.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I've gotten it, I just don't know how it works. What do you guys think? Do we switch to True Value? Because that's a guaranteed bonus payout as long as we keep our average.
Said Valvoline. Take that extra 3K bonus.
But the Valvoline bonus only comes in if I finish 35th or better. The last two races we didn't. The last two, I mean, granted, Watkins Glen we should have, but Talladega we didn't. So to me, True Value is the safer bet. But Valvoline, with our upgraded car, we should be able to do finishes like that. 35th or better. It gives us a goal. It gives us a better goal. All right, we'll go Valvoline. Now you're saying True Value? You got me second guessing. Here, let me shut the pylon off. We don't need that right now.
Said not ID, take the True Value.
Nescafe. I'm not taking Nescafe. There's cheapo.
Said Nescafe.
I like the idea of having a Nescafe car.
Said just cause.
Just cause. All right, I need a tiebreaker. One of y'all said Valvoline. One of y'all said True Value. Next.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said Civil War.
Ready, go.
True Value vs Valvoline.
I'll let you guys argue that one. Okay, qualify 40th, average start in 40th, average start in 35th. I don't think we're average of 35th. So this one's going to be goodies on the back again. Just because it pays better, and we can do top 40 qualifying, no problem with the way the qualifying works and taking your car rating into effect. Finish ahead of Greg Sachs. He doesn't make every race. Finish ahead of Bobby Hillen. He should be in every race.
Said Nico, choose True Value.
And finish ahead of Jimmy Means. I'm gonna take the Jimmy Means one.
Said Nescafe.
I think Neko's not even gonna vote
Carson
properly.
Thoughtboy. Said he'll concede. True Value it is.
All right, True Value. We'll mix it up. Valvoline's going back here. We're gonna do ahead of Jimmy Means. I think that one's our best bet. So you guys said True Value. Take the average finish. The slightly better chance of a payout consistently. We can put Nescafe back here. An auto meter. Let me see what the other one is first. No, these are regulars. So we'll do Nescafe just because Neko wanted it.
Carson Thoughtboy. Said Nescafe.
Yeah. We'll put them. They're going to be the rear quarter, and the one by the number. I mean, we have goodies. We have Valvoline. We have all three of these on the car somewhere. Well, I already picked Nescafe. Boom. True Value. Our main sponsor going behind the driver. All right, cool. I'll make a new paint for next time.
Said 2-1. Oh well.
I don't know if I'll do a slight different version of this one or if I'll do something way different with it being a different main sponsor now. We'll see. But we've got the Nescafe on the car on the side, or True Value on the hood. Nescafe back on the quarters. Valvoline on the quarters. Let's save both saves. And I'm gonna spend a little bit of time off stream trying to figure out where the driver ratings calculate so we can fix the couple of drivers that perform differently than they should despite their ratings. Because I checked, the ratings do apply in career mode. They apply to the drivers where they should in memory. No problem there. There hasn't been a problem there. But like I said to some of you earlier, the game secretly changes ratings further somewhere that I didn't know it did. I just learned this. Because the best way to tell All right, we're gonna do this quick. Let me just do some save states here. Hang on, just so I don't lose this. So we'll save on 8, 7, 8. If you simulate, if I simulate right now with the Watkins Glen ratings, you see Tim Richmond finished second. You notice, other than when wacky things happen with pit stops, Tim Richmond is not finished up front at all. His ratings, he should be up front, but something happens when you run a race. It doesn't. They recalculate stats. Morgan Shepherd being way up there. I realize these are based on the road course ratings, so they're a little bit out of whack. Yeah, I mean, where the heck's Davey now? Davey, did he DNF randomly? Yeah, he did. Because I was gonna say, I'm just gonna do this just to show you guys. Tim Richmond wins.
Carson Thoughtboy.
Davey Allison
Said sim
10th.
racing is different though. Base game you can get Jeff Gordon to retire first year by simming.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is simming is based off their actual stats, from what I've noticed, versus running the race. The way they qualify is based on their stats. To some extent, it's based off like their track stat. But then running the race, it's not. Like, I don't know if I could show you guys or not. I've done a lot of like kind of research on this recently. So where did people finish in that last race? Hang on, let me switch my view. So essentially what I was looking at is last time we raced, or last stream, the last race we ran, Davey Allison did not run well, but his ratings
Carson
were good.
Thoughtboy. Said this game is so broken, but in a good way.
Well, no, it's not that it's broken. It's that they have extra code. They have extra code that's changing the ratings after the fact. So this is speed, aggression, control. Speed's the main one. But, I mean, you look, Morgan Shepherd's got a pretty good speed. Like, a 166. That's pretty good. What do we have? Mikey, Harrogant. Jimmy Horton's a good example. He's been getting top 10s left and right in this career mode. He's like 12th in points. He's been top 20 every race that he's run, and he's not run every race. But you can see his speed's 123. It shouldn't be anywhere near the top 10. It should not. It should be down here somewhere. My dad's stats 100%. Well, okay, not 100%, but almost completely match Dick Trickle's stats because that's who I based him off of. Stat wise, he kind of fit where I wanted him to run, and yet Dick Trickle will finish 20th, and my dad will finish 43rd. There's some extra code that happens on whatever driver they're replacing. So Ken Schrader, they have Doug Ferguson, one of the fantasy drivers, they have extra code to make him not great, or they have extra code to make Jimmy Johnson better. One of the two. And like I said, the ones Davey Allison gets mapped on Greg Biffle, and Jimmy Horton gets mapped on Dale Jarrett. So Greg Biffle, his stats are better than where he performs. If like these base stats are better than how he runs. Dale Jarrett, these stats are worse than how he performs. So somewhere else there's code that I don't know, and there's data that I haven't seen yet. I don't know where it lives. I don't know where it's accessed yet. That modifies these values further, which makes no sense. Why do ratings and then change them with code? Like, that doesn't change them in a way that it consistently makes Jimmy Horton better, or Dale, I should say, it makes Dale Jarrett better consistently than what his stats are. Why not just make his stats better then? I don't know. And it consistently makes Greg Biffle worse than what his stats are. So if I can figure out where the data lives after it's manipulated, after they calculate the final value, then we can get true, proper, what we want to be output is what's output. And there's still randomization. The game will still have the variance that it has for drivers, but our output will be like as close to what we want it to be as it can be. So that's what I'm working on. That's the biggest hill I want to tackle next, because this has been happening. Anyone who's played the 2003 mod, they notice Ken Schrader performs way better than he should be. He's like top 10 in points. You know why? Because Ken Schrader lands on Dale Jarrett's spot in the 2003 mod. I have... Oh, no, that's the 1990 output. This is from the earlier race. where Davey like should be really good. No, I only have the 2024 set. I'd have to run it through. Actually, I could do it real quick. Hell, I have the tool open. What am I doing? I don't know if this will work without a reset. But if I do cup and I load it and I just apply it with season stats. Come on. I don't know why it's slow. Generate PNatch only is fine. Oh. Because I have this file open, it's not going to work. Hang on. I just want to show you guys so you guys understand, anyone watching, so you guys understand the one big... Oh god, thank you for the follow. That's what's supposed to play. I need to put that for YouTube as well. It always scares the crap out of me, but that's kind of the point. So I'm trying, let's see, okay, generate PNatch, boom. Just to prove it, just to prove the consistency of it. So again, Greg Biffle, Jamie McMurray. So if you've been playing the 2003 mod, you may notice Jamie McMurray performs worse than what his stats are supposed to be. You can see his stats right here. They should be comparable to Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte, Rusty, Mikey. It should be better than Robbie Gordon and Mark Martin. At least putting them on the season stats. I don't have, this isn't track specific. So this does still have variance of track to track. But
Carson Thoughtboy. Sid was sort of expecting the follow GIF to have DW yelling boogity boogity boogity.
All my stuff is it's from my older streaming days when I streamed everything. I have Dragon Ball stuff set up for the most part. I don't have any of the YouTube ones set up, but I love Dragon Ball, and I'm gonna set up the rest of them to be Dragon Ball because they're fun. So who ends up on Dale Jarrett's in the 2003 pack? Kenny Schrader. So as I said, Kenny Schrader performs way better than he's supposed to for his stats. He's a top 10 in points guy, and you look at this. If I make this a table and sort it, insert table, and sort by speed, largest to smallest, and we'll insert a row. 1, 2, 3, and bam. Oh, that didn't work. Good enough. All right, so wait, Kenny Schrader, not Kenny Schrader. Kenny Schrader over here. Where am I looking? He's way down. So Kenny Schrader's stats, he is the 41st position speed on the season stats alone. Or the 41st best speed stat as calculated by the mod tool if you just run season stats. Yet people that have run season stats or run, change track to track, he's been top 10 in points. Top 10 consistently. Why? Because of the Dale Jarrett spot. Same exact thing we have with Jimmy Horton. Jimmy Horton's stats should be back here, and yet he runs up here. So again, there's code that's happening. There's stuff. There's somebody hard coded. I think one of the programmers disagreed with the guy that set the stats for the drivers in the database, and he added some stupid friggin' code where specific drivers it modifies their stats after the fact, and I don't know where that is. It's not in the database file because what we've been updating is the database file. The speed stat, the track specific stats right here, that's what we've been updating since day one. And it gets us most of the way there for most of the drivers, but there's a couple exceptions, and Dale Jarrett's the biggest one to notice. And I want to fix that. That's the big hill. That's the long explanation. Apologies if you don't care. But this is the sort of stuff that it's a rabbit hole to try to figure out. It's a rabbit hole to figure out that it's even happening. To notice that this was a problem, we had to notice drivers performing differently than they should. So it took a longer sample of people playing the mods and giving feedback and being like, hey, I know there's randomization, there's a variance stat that we don't have control of on the drivers, so there is going to be variance, but Kenny Schrader is performing way better than he should, and so-and-so is performing worse than they should. So noticing that was the hard part. Or that's not the next part's hard part, but that was one of the steps that we had to figure out first was why, is this happening? Why is this happening? But, all right, that's going to do it for the stream. I appreciate everybody who tuned in live and or after the fact. Really appreciate you guys. Give it a follow. Like, I think we're literally one YouTube subscription away from 500, which is crazy. That's great. So we're getting there. And I should be streaming again this Thursday night for the PS1. Well, the every racing game in history, starting with the PS1.
Carson Thoughtboy said make it 0. I'm going there now.
Make what 0? God, the delay kills me in trying to understand what people are referring to. Oh gosh, I don't even know what I was saying.
Carson Thoughtboy.
Oh, the YouTube
said
sub.
YouTube sub.
Oh, sweet. Heck yeah, dude. I'm like, my brain is like scattered everywhere when I stream. It also doesn't help that I had leftover wedding cake, so I'm all drunk up on wedding cake. But no, we're gonna stream again Thursday. Should also be back next Saturday, I'd imagine, for more of this. I don't think I have anything going on next Saturday. I am racing next Friday, as if the weather holds up. I have to get my car ready. I'm gonna be doing some of that tomorrow. But it'll be the first race I'm doing this year. The second race of the season, though. I'm not running the full season this year. Won the championship last year. Won a couple of races, but this year I'm between getting married and having a honeymoon and everything financially. I'm just like I've done enough in my real racing career that I'm happy. If nothing else came out of it, so it's just kind of for fun. So we're only running some special shows that pay extra or are just certain events we like. And next week pays extra, so we're gonna run next week. But I'll still stream. I should still be able to stream. Thursday's the only questionable one, if my car's not quite ready yet, but it should be. And then Saturday's a definite stream. So we'll see you then. Thanks again. Sorry for the long outro and everything. And thanks for the follows and subs and everything. Appreciate you guys.